Hanley Ramirez, Dan Uggla. The pair have lit up National League pitching, and they've turned in a few highlight film plays. The acrobatic Ramirez and the gritty Uggla. You want pop? Hanley and Uggla have combined for 32 homers, 75 RBIs. Hanley Ramirez and Dan Uggla, two of the best in the game, now appearing at a big league park near you. Got some clouds in the area, but hey, it's South Florida, that happens. Still warm, still got baseball. In fact, it's game 4 of a 4-game series. The Marlins try to make it 3 in a row against the Cincinnati Reds. The Fish right now 6 over. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. Great day at the ballpark yesterday for the Marlins. A big win, lots of big hits. Hanley and Uggla involved, and a certain rookie, Ryan Tucker, getting his first Major League win.
It was a fun day, and I think we really enjoyed watching the coolness of Ryan Tucker as he went through 5 innings and ended up getting his first Major League win in the debut. But we always enjoy watching the slickness, the coolness, the hardness, and the type of play that Hanley Ramirez and Dan Uggla give us each and every day.
And it's been a pleasure, too, Tommy, because we've seen them come up as rookies in 2006, take another step last year, and this year they just get better and better.
They both belong in that All-Star game at Yankee Stadium in July. They are having phenomenal years. Hanley Ramirez has never been an All-Star. He's gotten his batting average back up to 300. How about 5 home runs in his last 5 games? Dan Uggla, with 42 extra base hits, is second in the major leagues in that department. To go along with the 18 home runs, he has 23 doubles and 44 RBIs. These two guys need to be together at Yankee Stadium in the All-Star game, representing the Marlins and representing the National League.
Those two guys and the rest of the Marlins better be ready tonight, because they'll see the National League's best. Edinson Volquez was not a name that was on the tips of anybody's tongue at the start of this year, and like a light, he has flashed on the scene.
This guy has electric stuff, a tremendous fastball, but he has a changeup to go along with it that has tremendous deception.
Yeah, fastball and a changeup that he patterned after his idol growing up, Pedro Martinez. And he looks like a young Pedro Martinez, at least so far this year. Here's the pitching matchup. It's a rematch of sorts. Volquez going for the Reds, and Mark Hendrickson going for the Marlins. Hendrickson at 7-3, his earned run average at 5.33. His last start, a solid start in Atlanta. The Marlins won that ball game by a score of 6-4. The series getting ready to conclude. Hair-raising? Yeah, you could say that. Both skippers are ready. Jorge Cantu's hot, and yes, Ken Griffey Jr. is still stuck on 599. All of that is coming up from Dolphin Stadium with the Reds and the Marlins.
Okay, the first rule in wireless sales is to steer them toward the family plan. That's the real moneymaker. Yeah.
The family plan seems like a good deal.
Exactly, seems. All those people start sharing minutes and wham, overage city. Yeah.
Isn't that dishonest?
Fill up!
That's their world. With us, get 4 lines for $100 a month with local, long distance, and text, all unlimited. Metro PCS. Hello. The leader in unlimited.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, the ladies are back in the ring for a Best Damn Boxing Blowout. We've got all the hard-hitting action. It's the Best Damn Fight Night, period. Friday, we've got the zaniest.
It's a big thing for the Miami fans.
Wackiest.
Into the 40, the 30.
And most outrageous bloopers anywhere.
Oh, no.
It's Best Damn's Top 50 Sports Bloopers. This week at 11.
Start your Thursday afternoons with the Toyota Tundra Outdoors on FSN Florida. At 12:30, Southwest Florida Outdoors features the how-to for fishing in Southwest Florida. At 1, Real Adventures takes an in-depth look at saltwater fishing. At 1:30, get all your field and stream resources on Americana Outdoors. And at 2, wrap up with the competition and excitement of the Redfish Tournament Trail. All this on the Toyota Tundra Outdoors, Thursday afternoons on FSN Florida.
Tonight's game is available in high definition. For a list of cable and satellite providers offering FSM Florida HD along with channel numbers, log on to fsmflorida.com. Dolphin Stadium tonight, Reds, Marlins finishing off a 4-game series. The Reds got game 1, the Marlins dramatically in game 2, and then a walkover yesterday in the sun here in South Florida. Let's start things out in center field with Craig Minervini.
Thank you, Rich. Good evening, everybody. Jorge Cantu came to spring training wanting to win a job, according to hitting coach Jim Presley. That's exactly what he has done, and he's really been hitting well of late. 6-game hitting streak. We talked with him about that and a little faux pas in the game here last night. Jorge, terrific homestand for you. I know you're feeling comfortable. How do you like hitting here in this ballpark?
I really like it. It's visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Marlins baseball on FSM Florida is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers in the banner sales event going on now. Hurry in for deals on a huge selection of Toyotas. Toyota, moving forward. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work. Marlins and Reds. The Cincinnati Reds come in at 30 and 34, having dropped the last 2 in this series to the Fish. Dusty Baker's lineup will look this way. Cue the Reds, brought to you by Toyota. Jerry Hairston's been a tough out for the Marlins and for Mark Hendrickson. A lot of these guys have hit Hendrickson well. Jay Bruce in center, Ken Griffey Jr. out in right, Brandon Phillips at second base, Adam Dunn in left, Edwin Encarnacion at third. Joey Votto slides down to that 7 spot. Paul Bacco started game 1 and now game 4. And there's Volquez in the 9 spot.
Yeah, Rich, you're right. A lot of the Reds have hit Mark Hendrickson pretty well, so you hope that he makes some adjustments to some of the hitters, such as a Hairston, a Brandon Phillips, and Adam Dunn, guys who have hit him pretty well. I thought he did a nice job in Atlanta last time out. He did give up 9 hits and 4 runs, but that was the game he worked 6 innings, and because of the 6 innings, Freddie Gonzalez was able to manage the bullpen a little better, and the Marlins ended up winning that game 6-4. Take a look at the defense behind the big left-hander, brought to you by Rico. Tonight, 28th start for Cody Ross in center field. He's flanked by Luis Gonzalez and Jeremy Hermida. Cantu, Ramirez, Uggla, Mike Jacobs back in the lineup. He's trying to get things going, get that offense going. Matt Trainer behind the plate, and he will handle the 33-year-old Mark Hendrickson.
Weather report brought to you by Miccosukee Resort and Gaming. Come play our way. Overcast, 82 degrees, and a little bit of a wind. Ready to go. Not as hot certainly as it was yesterday when the Marlins beat the Reds 9-2. One of the most entertaining games of the year was, of course, on Saturday night with the Cody Ross walk-off homer, and it was the Reds in game 1, an 11-3 win over the Fish. Here's Hairston, who's been good against the Fish this year and good in this series, and Hendrickson misses high with a fastball. Hairston, Bruce, and Griffey against a powerful Reds lineup. They can score runs, that's for sure. And Hendrickson is up 2-0. The 6th innings Tommy talked about important, and that 6th inning Atlanta was not an easy 1-2-3 inning. Hendrickson had to pitch his way through it and did. And of course, as Tommy noted, the Marlins would win that game 6-4.
Every once in a while we'll see Mark struggle somewhat in the strike zone. Generally he has pretty good control. Gets a little call there, borderline strike.
Bill Hahn is behind home plate.
You know, the Reds, you've mentioned they've played pretty well, but not away from Great American Ballpark. 11-24 on the road.
3-2. Reds tonight, Phillies tomorrow. Phillies got into town last night. The 3-2 pitch. Foul back. Charlie Manuel, if you're watching, hope you're enjoying your day off. We'll see you tomorrow night.
I'm sure most of the Phillies had a great day off.
I'm sure they did. And they had an impressive sweep in Atlanta against one of the best home teams in all of baseball. Hendrickson has thrown 3 straight strikes. And a 3-2 now. Ground ball, Hanley in the hole. Backhands, plants, long throw. Safe. Just beat it. So Hairston, who has 10 stolen bases, is aboard.
You have to have speed to beat this out. Anybody else is not going to get an infield hit. Good plant, strong throw by Hanley, but Jerry Hairston just there ahead of the throw. Good play. Hanley couldn't have done any better.
Now Jay Bruce.
Hairston now 8 for 16 in his career against Hendrickson.
Big breaking ball is a strike. Jay Bruce has not faced Mark Hendrickson.
So far, it hasn't mattered who he's faced.
No kidding. Hairston dances away from first.
Bruce is 5 for 12 in this series with 4 RBIs, but you have to keep your eye on that guy at first.
Hendrickson to the plate, and he gets a strike. And that one's fouled back. Oh, it's 0-2. Dusty Baker. Reds much improved at this point right now from where they were at this point last year. Last year, a very disappointing year for the Reds. Jerry Narron was fired midway through. Strike 3 called. Hendrickson punches out Bruce.
And that's a good point, Rich. That's something Dusty's addressed as Hendrickson finds the corner with a perfect pitch to freeze Jay Bruce, is that he's seen improvement, and the ball club has improved. And I'm sure with Walt Jocketty now as their general manager, they're going to want to see that as the second half goes on after the All-Star break. But, you know, maybe not even this year. They just want to see improvement each year.
Well, here's Griffey, and part of the drama of this series has been, is Griffey going to hit number 600? And so far he hasn't. So he's still sitting on 599, and he, like others, has hit Hendrickson well. 5 for 8 with a home run against Hendrickson, and those folks out there, cameras in one hand, glove in the other. And Hendrickson misses outside. The Marlins have shifted over with the runner at first base. The Marlins have their third baseman, Jorge Cantu, almost directly behind the bag at second.
Generally, Dan Uggla will be out in that area. My question is, who will cover second for a double play?
I'll bet you Cantu. And he's played enough second base that he probably can turn a pretty good double play.
With a semi shift on, Dan Uggla's probably a little too far away. He would be cheating a little closer to the bag. So yeah, I'd guess Cantu would be the guy.
Now, if Billy catches the home run, he won't have to work another day in his life. Runner goes. Trainer's throw. He's got no chance, and it's Cantu who covers at second. 2-0 to Griffey.
I think if Billy catches the home run ball, there's the big jump by Hairston. He throws it back because he likes it that way.
Yeah. He's big on catch and release, isn't he? Let's see what Griffey gets to hit at 2-0. Breaking ball. Hairston's running, and he steals third. And the Marlins, it's one thing not to pay attention to him at first base. It's a whole nother thing to leave him alone at second. And Hairston swipes a couple bags.
It is something we've seen teams do against Mark Hendrickson. But you're right, when a runner sees that pitcher look just once and then take the high leg kick, Hairston both times got a great jump.
And so the shift takes on even a more interesting dimension because of where Hanley Ramirez is.
Yeah, now Hanley's over near third base because there's a runner there.
Breaking ball. Has reached the milestone. 600 home runs. He joins a very exclusive club. On a breaking ball from Mark Hendrickson, Ken Griffey Jr. with his son Trey in the dugout hits career homer, 600.
A scramble for the ball. It's his 10th career home run against the Marlins. His 178th career home run against a left-hander.
And a curtain call at Dolphin Stadium. He joins Sosa, Bonds, Aaron, Mays, and Ruth. And here is Brandon Phillips. The Reds have a 2-0 lead.
Boy, there's the big curveball. It stayed up and it stayed in. Trainer set out away. As soon as Junior hit it, he knew it was number 600.
Brandon Phillips runs up the bunt and takes down low, and it's 1-1.
Well, now Mark Hendrickson has to get back in focus into his game plan. Our congratulations certainly to Ken Griffey Jr. has had a remarkable career, a Hall of Fame career, and joins, as you said, Rich, an elite group.
Phillips pops it up back behind first. Uggla's over, and Dan is there and makes the catch. And it's a group that I think is, especially with a couple of names up there, Junior may surpass in a year or two, maybe not in home runs, but probably in stature. As the whole Balco and steroid situation continues to evolve, Griffey arrives at 600 behind a couple of names who still are involved and who still have some doubt cast upon their numbers.
Junior will make less appearances in federal court than some of the others.
Oh, 0-2. Big relief.
Here's the other scary part if you get back into this game. The home run was a 2-run shot. Edinson Volquez has not allowed more than 2 runs in any of his starts this year.
Yeah, the Marlins are in deep against Volquez, a guy that really has lit the National League on fire. High pop. Hanley makes the catch. Inning over. Milestone reached. Ken Griffey Jr. Number 600.
What can I say? It's in my blood. Racing, the STP, it really gets me going.
Because Marathon gasoline with STP provides extra cleaning power and helps maintain fuel economy?
That's right. I see all Marathon gas now contains STP additives.
My customers really appreciate it.
Yeah, STP's always been a winner. See y'all.
Remember, pit road speed.
Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Although the Toyota Tacoma has the ability to perform the stunts shown in the following video, we're bound by law to discourage you from reenacting them. Good luck.
Now get $2,700 in total savings on new 08 Tacoma models. That's $2,700 in total savings.
Wallet feeling the crunch? The Florida Marlins have a way to save with the Marlins Free 5-Pack presented by Pollo Tropical. Buy a 5-pack and get a second 5-pack free. Packs start at just $75. That's right, only $75. Pick the 5 games of your choice. See the Marlins battle the Cubs, Mets, Phillies, and others. Bring your kids, bring your buddy, bring your wife. The Marlins Free 5-Pack presented by Pollo Tropical. Get yours today. Call 1-877-MARLINS or go to FloridaMarlins.com. Marlins Baseball. You gotta be here.
Florida Marlins Baseball está disponible en español vía SAP y es presentado por KFC.
Marlins lineup looks this way. Brought to you by Toyota Trucks. Hanley Ramirez, Jeremy Hermida, Jorge Cantu, Mike Jacobs, Dan Uggla, Luis Gonzalez, Cody Ross, Matt Trainer, and Mark Hendrickson. Hanley hot right now, 6-game hitting streak. 5 homers in those 6 games.
Well, we talked about Volquez, the 24-year-old. Opposing batters hitting .188 against him. 12 starts this year. Hasn't allowed more than 2 runs, earned runs in any of those 12 starts. And in 10 of those, hasn't allowed any more than 1 earned run.
Yeah, he is something. The Dominican Republic, 24 years old. Now you can look at it 2 ways, I guess, Tommy. You can look at it that Volquez has been dominating, but you can also look at it that he's due. Someone's due to get to him.
Yeah, and you know the Marlins have seen him. They saw him in Cincinnati. He beat Hendrickson 5-3. Went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits, so he was touched for 7 hits, but just 1 run. And the Reds, by the way, have made a change. Maybe with 2 stolen bases, a little lame, but the new shortstop is Paul Janisch. So Hairston out of the game after starting the game with a base hit, an infield base hit, and then 2 stolen bases.
He may have been injured giving a high five to Griffey. Here's the 1-1. Hanley chops it out towards Janisch, who records the out. And so here comes Hermida. Volquez's rise to premier starter in the National League. It didn't quite come out of nowhere, but it's pretty darn close. He was involved in the trade for Josh Hamilton in the offseason. Volquez had a promising arm who had been spotty at best in the big leagues with the Texas Rangers. I mean, he was 3-11 with a 7.20 Ernie. From 2005 through 2007, never had a full season in the big leagues. Hermida takes inside. But you can see it, 96 miles an hour. He's got the fastball, and he's got that changeup, that Pedro Martinez-like changeup.
Like that. So you go from 96 to 83, 84, and you see the big differential. Arm motion, fastball. Change up, bottom falls out.
1-2 pitch. And it's inside. We told you yesterday that Ryan Tucker, when he was a high school kid, went out to dinner at a Denny's with a guy that would become his agent. And he ate dinner with Edinson Volquez. Volquez showed him the changeup grip that he learned from watching Pedro Martinez, and that is the changeup grip that Tucker uses to this day.
How about that? And congrats to Ryan Tucker, winning his Major League debut yesterday. Showed some nice composure, I thought, out there on the mound.
Cantu now. What a series Jorge Cantu has had. A strike from Volquez.
See the difference in a guy with a good changeup and let's say a guy who has a fastball and a good curveball. You can sit on the fastball. with a guy who has a curveball, and you can pick up that curveball right away when he releases it. You can pick up spin, location where he releases it from. So you'll lay off of it a little more likely. But the changeup still has that fastball delivery, doesn't have spin to it, and it's harder to pick up.
There's the changeup. He buries it in the dirt. And it's 1-2. The amazing thing is that this trade has turned into a great trade for both teams. Josh Hamilton is just having an all-star year in Texas, and Cantu waves at the changeup. Reds up on the Griffey homer.
One moment we are feeling spontaneous.
Surprise, I'm home.
The next, we are happily interrupted. Hey, there's no problem for guys like me with ED. There's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. No other ED tablet can do both. Sure, Cialis can work fast, but having up to 36 hours is a great option. And working only when it should means I can respond to Deb only when we're ready. Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away. Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because when the moment is right, you can be ready.
Mark Hendrickson back to work. The Reds have a couple runs. Ken Griffey Jr. has hit number 600. Edwin Encarnacion, Joey Votto, Paul Bacco for the Reds. And Hendrickson misses high now. For Hendrickson, he's got to settle down because the Reds are a team that can add on and add on quickly. Drops in a breaking ball.
I think he made some good pitches to settle down after the home run and got Phillips to pop up and Dunn to pop up.
Two and one. Encarnacion hit by a pitch early in this series. And that left elbow, he missed game 2 of the series. You can see he's now got that big pad on the elbow. Out in front, Gonzo comes trudging in. Oh, and it pops out of his glove. Luis Gonzalez on a dead run put the glove out and had it pop right out.
Got the concentration, totally reached out a little bit too far, and it caught him on the heel. He wants to just get that ball nestled into the webbing. And it'll be an error on Gonzo, his second of the year. I think for the most part he's played a pretty solid left field, much more comfortable out there than in right.
Joey Votto with Paul Bacco to follow. The good news for Hendrickson is he's got the bottom of the order. The bad news is Votto at times has hit like a guy that belongs up in the 3-4 spot. And he bends out of the way of that fastball.
Yeah, I think if you ever saw a Reds team without a Griffey Jr. and Adam Dunn, you'd see Bruce and Votto right there in the mix up at the meat part of the lineup.
Yeah, in fact, if you project this Reds team to next year, the fact that Dunn's contract is up, Griffey's might be if the Reds don't pick up the option. It might be a Votto Bruce bookend to Brandon Phillips' right-hand bat. Much like Griffey and Dunn do now. Squirts off the end of the bat.
I'll tell you where they're going to have an interesting decision. We'll leave it up to Walt Jocketty. When Jeff Keppinger comes back with the kneecap injury, and Alex Gonzalez, former Marlin, with the kneecap injury, 2 shortstops. Harrison's been playing a solid shortstop, and they have the youngster Paul Giannis. He'll probably go back to the minor leagues, but it's an interesting dilemma.
Well, the dilemma gets a little murkier because Gonzo has another year on his contract.
Yeah, and the one thing that Hairston has, and there's Gonzo. Hope he gets back soon. The one thing that Hairston has going for him, he's a versatile guy. You can play him in center field. You can play him in many other positions.
Did it hit the bat or did it hit his hand? And apparently got enough of his hand that Votto is aboard, and Hendrickson, after watching Gonzo drop that fly ball, Luis Gonzalez hits Votto.
Yeah, that didn't even sound good.
Number 9, catcher Paul.
Yeah, it got that hand. Votto, tough Canadian, though. He's okay.
He's been slashed harder than that in street hockey. Here's Baco. Marks curveball as a strike.
Yeah,
2 hits in this series. Baco's bat coming back to life. He'd been on a real dry spell coming into this series.
Yeah, we talked about he was hitting over 300 when the Marlins were in Cincinnati.
Another slow breaking ball.
No, the last 6 starts for Mark Hendrickson have not been all that good. He's kept the ball club in some games, but his ERA over those 6 starts has been over 7. Previous 6 starts, his ERA was in the 2s.
Drive to right. That's over the fence. And deep and gone. Paul Baco. His 5th. And the Reds play long ball with a pair of home runs against Mark Hendrickson.
When Junior hits him off, it's one thing. When Paul Baco, left-handed hitter, takes Mark Hendrickson that deep, it's another. When the Marlins were in Cincinnati in May, middle of May, he had 4 home runs. This one's number 5.
Pop up, and it's going to get into the seats. As if this guy needs any more run support. Maybe that's why he has a grin as he steps in right now. Volquez takes at the knees, and it's 0-2. Reds 5-0. 2 homers, one of them Ken Griffey Jr.'s 600.
It is a team certainly built around the long ball. 2 home runs tonight. Cincinnati has 72 home runs. The Marlins have 94.
A strikeout of Volquez. So an out here in the second time around now, and instead of Jerry Hairston, you've got Paul Giannis, who won a game for the Reds against the Marlins. It was his very first game in the big leagues. It was that wild 7-6 game in Cincinnati, in which the Marlins were down 6-0 in the 9th, tied it on a Cody Ross 3-run homer, and then Giannis, who came in defensively, got Raniel Pinto and banged one down the right field line.
You know, that was a game about a week ago. I remember reading in the papers that Hairston had to leave. He tweaked at that time, they thought, a hamstring. So maybe going up the line quickly to beat out that infield base hit, a couple of stolen bases, may have aggravated it again.
So what you're saying is the Reds are down to shortstop number 4.
Yeah, right now. Dusty's got a couple in waiting.
That one lands in the bullpen. And the count's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cincinnati in the Central, open play, 10 games back of the Chicago Cubs, who have the best record in the National League. Fastball broke his bat. Cantu. All right, we know that Griffey hit home run number 600, and I guess the next question is who caught the ball? And this is a great shot. Watch the gentleman in the Marlins.
Number 32, center fielder Jay.
There he is in the Marlins jersey with the glove, makes
Right
the
there.
catch. Now watch what he does after he catches the ball.
Nice decoy.
Watch. Oh,
Points,
it's
he
down there.
Points down. No, it's down there. I didn't get it. And then he has all these guys scrambling for the ball, and he gets out of there.
Look at him climbing out. See, we weren't quite sure where Sergio Mitre was. But
Look at these guys who are looking for the ball still.
Wow. Craig, you got more on that?
Well, guys, I'm behind the left field wall here. It's amazing this microphone could pick up through the broadcast. But the Reds now have just showed up. They are holding him in a little cell here. And not that kind of cell, but they're talking to him. There is some discrepancy over whether that's the ball or some other guy says he may have the ball, and somebody either may have taken the ball. So the guy who apparently got it will not reveal his name yet. The Reds have just showed up with about 3 boxes of it looks like souvenirs and baseballs to try and get this baseball back. They're also sending an authenticator here to see if it's the exact ball, but I can't see the video right now. Does the video clearly show the guy you say caught the ball?
I mean, there's a bunch of arms.
Not
and
conclusive.
The guy comes away from it, but Craig.
A good attorney would say not conclusively.
Well,
okay.
But correct me if I'm wrong. The baseballs, when Griffey came to the plate, were supposed to be specially marked.
I believe
to
so.
avoid this.
I think because they said an authenticator is coming to check the ball, so they'll know who has it. But there was among the security people here some doubt as to whether this guy got it or he took it from this guy.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're this guy, what's to prevent him from bringing his own ball, sticking it in his glove, and then running away saying, "I got it"?
Details after the game.
See, it isn't conclusive, and it looks at a couple of angles like maybe 1 or 2 of those guys in front of him may have caught it, but I don't know.
Now, I don't think number 600 is going to bring nearly as much money as some of the Bonds balls or the McGuire balls. There's 2 guys in front of him.
See, I don't know how he reached over in front of those 2 guys and caught it. There's the ball, maybe right in there.
Ground ball into right field. That's much more fun to watch than what the Marlins are enduring right now.
Especially when it's 5-0 in the second inning. Yeah.
Can we see that again?
Number 3, right fielder Griffey Jr.
Here's Griffey. Maybe he'll hit 601 now. Here's another look. You tell me if the guy with the Marlins jersey.
See, there's the guy with the jersey right there. These guys are fighting for the ball right there. And he maybe could have caught it.
Looked like Owen Wilson in there. That one fouled back over the screen.
Well, you got the feeling that Junior's going to go on a little bit of a tear, similar to what Manny Ramirez did when he reached 500.
A little pressure off.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, the Reds go home. They take on the St. Louis Cardinals, 3-game series. Then the Red Sox are in Cincinnati for a weekend series.
Griffey takes outside. And it's 1-2. Got him picked off. Jacobs comes inside, fires a strike. Hanley's tag. The ball pops out of his glove. And there's nobody at third base because the Marlins are in a shift. Yikes.
Well, that will be an error on Hanley because that was a perfect throw by Jake to Hanley Ramirez. And as he put the tag down on Bruce, picked him off, had an out, inning should be over. But as Bruce comes in with his shoulder, he clips the ball out of Hanley's glove. And then you're right, nobody at third base. Bruce picked that up right away. Made it there easily.
Probably go as a caught stealing and an E6. Hendrickson misses outside. And it's 2-2.
This is what has been so frustrating about this ball club. And I know there's a long way to go in this game tonight. But some just remarkable games. Some games that'll have you on the edge of your seat. Some games that'll have you loving these guys. And then some games that start out like this.
Hendrickson thought he made two pretty good pitches. But right now, Bill Hahn is not giving him that outside corner. Three-two pitch. Griffey went after one of those pitches. And the count stays at 3-2. That one back into the seats. We talked to you about Hendrickson and guys like Griffey in this Reds lineup. Griffey now is 6 for 9 with 2 homers against Hendrickson in his career. The Reds lineup, the guys that had faced Hendrickson, came into this ball game hitting .473 against him.
Just not a good matchup for him.
A swing and a miss. Trainer picks it up, tags him out. A 3-run shot by Paul Bacco makes it 5-0.
What's Lotto Plus?
It's Lotto Plus from the Florida Lottery. Now you can add millions to your jackpot. A $2 Lotto Plus jackpot starts at $13 million. A $3 Lotto Plus jackpot starts at $28 million. New Lotto Plus. It's Lotto Plus. Millions more.
Cha-ching. Nice shoes.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Although the Toyota Tacoma has the ability to perform the stunts shown in the following video, we're bound by law to discourage you from reenacting them. Good luck.
Now get $2,700 in total savings on new 08 Tacoma models. That's $2,700 in total savings.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Florida Marlins and may not be reproduced in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Florida Marlins.
Edinson Volquez has been dynamite this year, and he has a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Mike Jacobs, Dan Uggla, Luis Gonzalez as the Marlins try to climb back in this against this dynamic right-hander for the Reds. Jacobs back in the lineup after a couple of ball games off. He'd been slumping not only with the bat but also the glove. He's 1 for 7 in this series. It's a tough guy to come in and bust out of a slump against.
Yeah, and there's his breaking ball. He'll use that occasionally as well.
1-2. Volquez, who was property of the Texas Rangers, didn't really light it up for the Rangers. In fact, the Rangers last year sent him all the way to single A. He had been up with the big league club in 05 and 06, and they sent him down there with a list of things to do, a list of things they wanted him to change, which was pretty dramatic. He strikes out Jacobs.
Rich, while you process that story, we'll check out the defense brought to you by Rico. Joey Votto starting at first base tonight. He's been busy, and he's off to a tremendous rookie year. Brandon Phillips, Paul Janisch at shortstop, Edwin Encarnacion, Dunn, Bruce, and Griffey in the outfield, and Paul Bacco. Bacco and Griffey have each gone deep.
Here's Uggla. Dan takes a strike at the knees. Uggla checks in with his 18 homers and 44 runs driven in. And he's had a very productive series. You can see Volquez changing the grip in his glove. And he bounces one up there. The Rangers sent him to single A because he'd been underachieving in their mind. And the list of things they wanted him to change: number 1, shave his dreadlocks. Number 2, run on and off the field. Number 3, have a written plan of attack against every hitter in the lineup. Uggla pulls it down the line. And Uggla is out. Hey, Super Saturday on the 28th. The Marlins and the Diamondbacks, 7:10 start. The big concert, Casey and the Sunshine Band, fireworks spectacular, presented by Miccosukee Resort and Gaming. 1-877-MARLINS is the number to call, or visit FloridaMarlins.com. First 15,000 fans get a Mike Jacobs jersey, courtesy of Doctors Hospital. And here is Gonzo. Man, that's pretty dramatic stuff in talking about Volquez. They really wanted him to change his entire act, and it worked.
Yeah, it tells me a couple of things, obviously, that he needed to change, but it tells me what the Rangers thought of him to present that to him.
Gonzo chops it out to second. Phillips flips it on to first. And the Marlins are down. Volquez mowing them down. 5-0 Reds.
Each year, 37,000 Americans die in car accidents. And 38,000 are killed by secondhand smoke. To quit, visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call the quit line for free cessation aids like patches and gum while supplies last.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, the ladies are back in the ring for a Best Damn Boxing Blowout. We've got all the hard-hitting action. It's the Best Damn Fight Night, period. Friday, we've got the zaniest.
It's a big thing for the Miami fans.
Wackiest.
He's at the 40, the 30.
And most outrageous bloopers anywhere.
Oh, no.
It's Best Damn's Top 50 Sports Bloopers. This week at 11.
FSN Florida and the Florida Marlins have teamed up for the 3rd annual 2008 FSN Fantasy Auction to help raise funds for the Florida Marlins Community Foundation. This special on-air auction will be held Tuesday, June 10th, when the Marlins host the Philadelphia Phillies. Fans both at the game and at home will have the opportunity to bid on 8 once-in-a-lifetime Marlins experiences, including golf packages and swimming with the Dolphins. For more information, please visit FSNFlorida.com or FloridaMarlins.com.
Phillips Norelco Architect, the shaver with a flexible head that pivots and rotates freely. So now you can easily get a close shave, even on the neck.
In South Florida tonight, the Cincinnati Reds are on top 5-0. Mark Hendrickson facing Brandon Phillips, Adam Dunn, Edwin Encarnacion. And the Reds getting a couple of home runs. Ken Griffey Jr.'s a historic one, his 600th. And Paul Bacco, a milestone for Bacco, his 5th of the season. Phillips popped out back in the first. He's a guy that's had success against Hendrickson, 7 for 15 with a couple of homers. And Phillips swings and misses. If you're looking for all-stars for the Cincinnati Reds, Volquez certainly is a guy that should be on that ball club. But in terms of position players, where would you go next? Would you go Brandon Phillips?
Well, he's not quite having the year that he had. Well, that might increase after this.
A drive to left, and that's gone. 12 homers now for Phillips. And that might buy a vote or two.
It might buy a foul or two. Yeah, he had a tremendous year last year, 288, 30 home runs. And I'll tell you what, that was number 12. He could reach that number. High fastball, pitch out over the plate to a guy who had been 7 for 15, now 8 for 16 with 3 home runs against Mark Hendrickson.
Adam Dunn. You know, before tonight, Mark Hendrickson really hadn't been hurt by the long ball this year. He'd given up just 6 homers in 13 starts, but he's given up 3, and he's not through 3 innings.
I think the interesting all-star situation with the Cincinnati Reds, you talked about Edinson Volquez. With the kind of start and half season that he's going to have, he could very well start the All-Star game. And a little bit of trivia, and it actually involves the Marlins in a way. The last Reds starter in the All-Star game, the last Cincinnati Reds pitcher to start an All-Star game, was back in 1990, Jack Armstrong, who at one time pitched for the Florida Marlins. And Armstrong that season was 11-3 with a 2.28 ERA before the All-Star break, and that's why he started that game.
Dunn takes inside. We've talked about it before. The Reds teams of the 70s, the Big Red Machine, always remembered for everything but their pitching, everything but their starters. A lot of guys who you just don't remember. You remember Rose and Morgan and Bench.
You don't remember the Jack Billinghams and Freddie Normans.
Three-2 pitch. Fouled at the plate. Now, the last time the Reds won the World Series, you remember Jose Rio. He was the MVP of the World Series.
Tremendous pitcher.
Strike 3 called. Hendrickson strikes out Adam Dunn. Here comes Encarnacion. Hey, tomorrow night is the FSN Fantasy Auction. We'll be raising money for the Florida Marlins Community Foundation. We have 9 terrific prizes, and we have some great individual auction items, some game-used memorabilia, all of that. 305-623-6497 if you'd like to come out and sit with us out in right field. But make sure you join us. The bidding opens tomorrow night at 6:30, and all of the items will be posted on the internet. So you'll get a description of the items on the internet, and during the game, starting at 6:30, all the way from first pitch to last out, you can bid on those items.
You know, and not to mention a pretty good ball game. The Phillies in town, Brett Myers against Ricky Nolasco.
The Phillies well rested for sure. They finished up their series yesterday afternoon, and so they got into South Florida last night. So a pair of off nights for them here in South Florida. That'll crush the meal money.
I'll crush a lot of other stuff, too. I'll sign up for that.
Here's the 2-2. Three-2 pitch misses down low, and Encarnacion has walked. Hendrickson has already rolled up 77 pitches.
You know, when this inning started, he had thrown 60 through the first 2 innings. Volquez had thrown 22 through the first 2 innings.
Here's Votto, who was hit by a pitch back in the second.
Well, as expected, we kind of thought we'd see Burke Badenhop in games such as this. And as soon as I was thinking that, he starts warming up in the bullpen. And I think that's going to be his role for a while. Might see him in more games like this. You might see a Doug Wechter in a closer ball game to give Freddie 2 or 3 innings.
Hendrickson misses down low. Yeah, I think as we noted yesterday, with the addition of Badenhop, Wechter becomes more of a weapon than a mop-up guy.
And you know what I always say, there's nothing better than a Wechter weapon.
I've heard you say that on occasion.
And there he is.
Mark Wiley's on his way out to the mound as Hendrickson loses Votto. There's the pitch count at 81.
You know, and part of it, you know, you get the hoots and hollers from the crowd. The fans just don't understand the concept of not blowing out your bullpen in a game that could be a blowout. And so Freddie's going to try to squeeze as much as he can right now out of Mark Hendrickson.
Well, because the Marlins, the reality is one of the best offensive machines in baseball is here tomorrow night for 3 games, and that's the Philadelphia Phillies.
I mean, see, he knows he's going to be using that bullpen a few times during that series.
Boy, and the Phillies are hot. They're winning games with big hits, great defense.
Victorino's been on fire.
Yeah, he was flying all over Atlanta the last 3 ball games. Rollins is healthy and back.
Utley's always hot.
Howard is back to his form of last year.
Ryan Howard had 3 doubles the other night in Atlanta. 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs.
Hendrickson misses up and in. And tomorrow night's series, the series opener, the series is going to feature 2 of the best middle infields in terms of just sheer numbers and offense. Not only in the game right now, but in all time. You go back in the record books and look at shortstop second base combination. You'll be hard pressed to find a game where you've got 4 guys, 2 second basemen in Utley and Ugla, 2 shortstops in Rollins and Ramirez, who have the type of offensive numbers that these guys have.
That's what always makes it an exciting matchup when the Phillies come to town. You know, just to touch on the struggles of Mark Hendrickson, he relies on pinpoint control, and he obviously is struggling with that and falls behind Baco here 3-0. Just cannot get the ball down and get it in the strike zone where he wants. Everything up.
Here comes Freddie, and he's coming to get Hendrickson. So Mark's going to leave with an out here in the third. Another home run for the Reds and a 6-0 lead. And our Marooney called to the bullpen.
When you need a car, truck or van, who you gonna call?
Checkers is coming at you with more big, fully loaded sandwiches? Then any other value menu. Now, which one do you chomp into first? Checkers' new double value menu. Jammed, crammed, slammed with choices. Sizzling single deals starting at $1. Hunger-busting double deals starting at $3. 13 fully loaded sandwiches in all. It's value menu done proper. Little place, big taste. That's Checkers.
The K&G 2 Suits for $150 event is on. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 2 selected men's suits for just $150. That's less than the price of one at a department store. K&G Fashion Superstore.
Tonight on The Final Score, presented by DirecTV, the American League leading Angels host the Rays, and the White Sox look for their 7th straight win. For all today's highlights in 30 minutes, it's The Final Score.
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. That's why Pennzoil Motor Oil is specially formulated to continuously help prevent dirt and deposits from forming. No leading conventional oil helps keep engines cleaner. So change with Pennzoil and feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil. And now a 5-quart jug is only $10 for a limited time at Walmart.
6-0 ball game. It's the top of the 3rd inning. Burke Badenhop arrives on the scene. And he has the bags loaded. 1 out. Edison Volquez. And this is going to be Badenhop's game for a while.
Yeah, he's in there right now to give the ball club 4 or 5 innings.
Volquez, the starter, and this is how the night has gone for the Marlins. He's the 18th hitter to come to the plate for the Reds. The Marlins, on the other hand, have had just 6 batters.
He's come up twice, and Cody Ross and Matt Traynor haven't hit yet.
Bags filled with Reds.
We got the report on Jerry Hairston. Had to leave the game with a sprained left thumb, probably on a head-first slide.
Traynor holds it. Badenhop gets a strikeout. And the guy that replaced Hairston, Paul Janisch, is coming to the plate. Lots of baseball this afternoon. 5-3, Pittsburgh beats Arizona. Diamondbacks have scuffled a bit lately. The Pirates playing pretty well. Zach Duke getting the win. Randy Johnson the loss. Matt Capps, Jeremy Hermita's good buddy, picks up save number 15. Badenhop misses down low. The White Sox win again, 7-5.
Yeah, the Pirates playing a little bit better. They're just a couple of games under 500 with that win today.
That's a strike at the letters.
Boy, not a good night for Dontrell Willis, whose struggles continue. He was the starting pitcher for the Tigers tonight against Cleveland. Right now, Cleveland has an 8-0 lead.
Willis, an inning and a third, 3 hits, 8 runs, 5 walks,
and
and
threw
2 strikes.
64 pitches
Ooh.
in an inning and a third.
Yikes. Janisch fouls it at the plate. You wonder when a team like the Tigers starts to think about either dismantling or making moves, not for August and September, but for April and May of next year.
Come July, they could be sellers.
Chopper over the middle. Hanley races towards it, has it, flips to first in time, and Janisch is out. Hopper's in right now. 6-0 Reds.
With Honda's fuel-saving variable cylinder management system to help maximize fuel efficiency, you'll be spending less time in front of these and more time behind the wheel of this. The all-new 2008 Accord from Honda.
Get APR financing as low as 0.9% on all new Honda Accord sedans for well-qualified buyers.
Hey, Skip, need you in the wheelhouse.
Tenacious grip, no matter the conditions. Firehawk tires with Unity technology, only from Firestone.
You gotta be here for Super Saturday, June 28th, featuring a post-game concert with KC and the Sunshine Band, following a fireworks spectacular. Come party at the Strike Zone. Get a Marlins car wash set and a Mike Jacobs Marlins jersey. Catch the Marlins versus the Diamondbacks at 7:10. Marlins Super Saturday with KC and the Sunshine Band. Call 1-877-MARLINS today.
Our Land Rover legendary performance. How about the work of Brian Tucker in his Major League debut? 5 innings, couple hits, just the 1 run, 5 walks, 6 strikeouts.
You know what? He has that little edge, a little bit of attitude that you like to see. He has that confidence about him. He's a very quiet guy when you talk to him, but when he takes that mound, you could feel that in the game yesterday.
You know, one thing I didn't realize about him, as you see Volquez climbing up on the mound, 6-0 Reds on top, is that he has, very much like Justin Miller, tattoos all over his arm. He has to wear a sleeve when he pitches, the Justin Miller rule. And that's why he had that sleeve on in yesterday's ball game. The tattoos on both of his forearms. So he and Justin Miller will fit right in.
They can talk about tats.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. One of these days I expect you to walk in the booth all tatted up.
Yeah, we'll have the Tommy Hutton rule in the booth. Have to wear long sleeves for the open. No more Tommy Bahama shirts for you.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Cody Ross to left field. Adam Dunn is out there and he makes the catch.
You know, Volquez is 8-2. We've talked about his record. One of those losses. Remember, we talked about it with Aaron Harang, who came out of the bullpen and pitched 4 innings in that 18-inning game in San Diego. Volquez got the loss in that game. Pitched an inning and 2/3 out of the bullpen and was tagged with the loss. So one of his losses was pitching out of the pen.
That's a tough way to get a loss. Matt Trainer. That's a tough position for a manager to be in. What do you do in that situation, Tommy? They brought Harang in, and he pitched almost a mini game. He went 4 innings.
Yeah, and we pointed out, and his numbers haven't been the same in his starts since that time. Yeah, there really isn't much you can do. If you're out of pitchers, you have to start going into the starters and see, and back up into the rotation, see, okay, who's ready.
And there are some managers that won't. They'll just say, you know what? Who can throw? Which of you position guys has ever pitched in a game?
Yeah, but most of the times you see a position guy, it's in a blowout game. It's not a tie game. It's in the 18th inning.
18th inning?
Yeah. And you know, most of the starters aren't going to say, no, I'm not able to throw. Somebody's going to say, okay, give me the ball, I'll throw. You want them to say that.
And that's why I said it. For a manager, it's almost a no-win situation.
Yes.
Because if a guy like Harang, coming off of that appearance, suddenly scuffles, then everybody points to that situation and say, well, that's the reason he's scuffling. Whereas Volquez came in, he didn't pitch as much as Harang. He got the loss, but he hasn't missed a beat, you know?
Yeah, and part of it, I think, is because he didn't pitch as much, just an inning and 2/3.
2-2 to Trainer. And it just missed. Volquez has been perfect so far tonight. The Reds have provided him with 6 runs on 3 homers.
His last start against the Phillies. The hitting ball club that we've talked about, 7 innings, gave up 2 hits and no runs.
Trainer draws a walk, first base runner. And the hopper's coming up. You know, that pitch that just went to the screen reminded me of a note I made after the ball game to double check something. And the pitch yesterday that Mike Rabello struck out on that ended up back at the backstop, we thought hit him. It did indeed hit him. That ball's popped up and it's caught by the catcher Bacco. It did indeed hit him. However, the home plate umpire in yesterday's ball game, Tom Hallion, said it didn't hit him. The rule states, I went back to look up the rule, if you bunt at and miss or swing at and miss a ball that is the 3rd strike and it hits you, you're out. It's a dead ball.
But if it's earlier in the count,
yes, it's a live ball.
It's a strike.
Yeah, and so Rabello reacted. Remember, he didn't run when the ball went to the screen. He figured he was out. He had swung the bat, it hit him in the leg. But the umpire did not make a sign as if he was out, so he ended up running down to first. Hanley grounds it to 3rd. And the Marlins are done here in the 3rd. We played 3. It's been all Reds.
At Infinity, we believe acceleration should feel less like a quick burst of speed and more like a limitless force of nature. The 306 horsepower G from Infinity. Lease an Infinity G sedan for $349 a month for 24 months.
I am your idea. Color me. Get me noticed. Make me shout. And stand out. Give me Rico color that always works. I am your idea. Make me brighter. Make me shine. I am your idea. Get me in there. Make it happen. In flying colors. It's you and me, and here we go. With Rico.
Hey, there's always more room for tools. Save $5 on a Toolworks 24-piece screwdriver set for only $9.88. So whatever you're working on, Advance will help you keep the wheels turning.
I'm Luis Gonzalez of the Florida Marlins, and I care. I don't chew, I don't dip, and I don't smoke. Join us as we work toward our goal of a tobacco-free Florida. For information, visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Our game tonight available in high definition for a list of cable and satellite providers offering FSM Florida HD along with channel numbers. Log on to fsmflorida.com. A 6-0 ball game in the top of the 4th inning. Smile pretty, you're on TV. Fastball from Burke Badenhop is fouled back. Jay Bruce, Ken Griffey Jr., Brandon Phillips against Badenhop, who takes over for Hendrickson. Mark had a rough night tonight. Reds hit 3 homers. Griffey hit his 600th. In his 7th of the season.
Jay Bruce now 22 for 51 in his major league career.
With swings like that.
Wow.
Just a smash out to Hermida.
You know, we were talking about Griffey, and the other thing that's always been impressive with his career, he hasn't been a totally all or nothing guy. He has a 290 lifetime average coming into this year. A number of times hit over 300, MVP 97.
Always had a high number of walks in his career.
That MVP year, he hit 56 home runs. That started a stretch of 3 straight years he led the American League in home runs.
Was there any doubt that in that stretch that he was the best player in the game?
No doubt at all. No, and that's it was after that stretch, maybe another year or two, when people started talking about surpassing home run records. And then the injuries came.
Baden Hop fires down to first. And Griffey is out by a step.
And there was a time he would have beaten that out.
The Duck going in a different direction than Griffey. 10 American League outfield Gold Gloves to tie the league record. Who is he tied with? And he won those in consecutive years from 1990 through 99. He has not won one in Cincinnati. A 14-time All-Star as well.
Angry emailer is already checking on that. We're going to have to back up our email Tuesday to email Wednesday, Rich.
Oh, that's right.
We'll be a little busy out in the picnic area with the fantasy auction going on. So emailers, just take note. Hold off till Wednesday.
There'll be plenty to talk about on Wednesday, the Phillies and the Marlins. Reds in-game box score flashing by. You'll see some home runs pop up. There were no in-game box scores when Babe Ruth played. They had yet to invent the crawl.
Used to be stories of Joe DiMaggio when he had the 56-game hitting streak. You know, there was no sports news shows that gave you all that information. And people would word of mouth, people would call, they'd try to find out, and if not, they'd just have to wait till the paper came out the next day.
Didn't they have those newsreels that once a week you could see highlights of not only the
yeah, the old black and white
sports
newsreels in the movies.
Yeah, movie tone news or something.
You go to the movies, you'd see a newsreel, a couple cartoons, and 2 features. and fire down lots of popcorn.
Badenhop walking off the mound thinking he had a strikeout. In fact, we saw that happen earlier this year, and he literally hopped back up on the rubber because he didn't want to show up the umpire.
Got the good sinker working. That's when he's at his best, when he keeps that 2-seamer down. He's throwing a couple change-ups here.
Good 2-2. Boy, what a different world it would have been had Ruth been playing when they had all the sports highlight shows or all the websites. A Deadspin or something like that, because then all the beer, the hot dogs, the women, all that, it would not have been pretty.
There'd be some serious Babe blogs.
Some good and some maybe not so good. It's 6-0.
So, what are we doing?
In my place, pizza and a video.
No way.
Very original.
How about Chili's? Welcome to Chili's.
Pepper in some triple thick bacon with Chili's new Smokehouse Bacon Burgers. They're mammoth-sized burgers with the thickest bacon you've ever seen, like our Southern Smokehouse Burger. The bacon seasoned with brown sugar and chili pepper, then grilled. Come in now and try them all. Only at Chili's. Pepper in some bacon. Pepper in some fun.
At Nissan, we started with a stitch. Then we thought two would be even better. We thought the seat should appear at the touch of a button, and the folks in the back should have a moonroof, too. We thought you should see traffic in real time and control your music seamlessly with your iPod. Then we thought, why not bring it all to you first? Introducing the future of the crossover. Here, now. The all-new 2009 Nissan Murano.
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. That's why Pennzoil Motor Oil is specially formulated to continuously help prevent dirt and deposits from forming. No leading conventional oil helps keep engines cleaner. So change with Pennzoil and feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil. And now a 5-quart jug is only $10 for a limited time at Walmart.
Marlins baseball on FSN Florida, brought to you by Marooney. Hey, South Florida, when you need a car, truck, or van, who you going to call? 1-877-MAROONEY. By Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By Checkers Double Drive-Thru, 2 drive-thrus to get you through fast. And by Tobacco Free Florida. Need help to quit smoking? Call the Quit Line, 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for counseling, information, and tips on how to succeed. Here's Hermida. And he takes a breaking ball. It's almost unfair that Volquez has that third pitch that can catch the corner.
He'd be tough enough with fastball changeup.
Cantu and Jacobs to follow. That's a ball. And Volquez gritting his teeth. It's 1-1. Can you think of a trade that has worked out like this, where two guys went from, well, one guy, you know, Hamilton had a storybook year last year, and then he actually battled back from drug and alcohol addiction to get back to the big leagues and be productive. But he's rocketed up the charts in the American League, the top of the RBI list. And then Volquez, who is the best starter in the National League by ERA.
Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find one that worked out as well for both teams. Looking at the numbers for Hamilton, he's 7th in the American League in hitting .315. Leading the league with 17 home runs and 69 RBIs.
Hermida walks. So does the duck. On water.
Outfly!
Or through the outfield. This is going to make our director, Jim Hawley, smile. Al Kaline.
Al Kaline. That's all you have to say, and Jim Hawley, it brings a smile to his face.
That's right, Al. Here's Cantu. Cantu takes up and in.
I remember on a visit to Cooperstown getting a picture, and I knew how much it would please Jim Hawley, and sending that picture of Al Kaline and Sparky Anderson and sending it to Jim Hawley.
Did you take an actual picture of the two guys, or their bronze busts?
No, in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
Both guys, yeah.
Did they pose with their thumbs up like Kirk Gibson did for you? Remember that? One 0 pitch. 1-1. Boy, the news gets worse for Jerry Hairston. We told you it was a sprained thumb, and now the Reds have announced it's a fractured left thumb.
It has not been a fortunate position to play shortstop for the Cincinnati Reds.
And both of the major injuries this year happened against the Marlins. Jeff Keppinger fouled a pitch off his knee, fractured his kneecap. Alex Gonzalez had had knee injuries coming into this season.
His also a kneecap injury.
Here's the 1-2 pitch.
I think right now, if you're the Marlins, you just you try to go up there individually. You think about your game, but then you also have to think about, okay, let's try to break up this guy's no-hitter. He hasn't given up a base hit yet.
Oh, goodness. That's strike 3. Cantu can't believe it. And he and Bill Hahn go at it. I think Bill Hahn missed that call.
See, if you're Bill Hahn, don't take the mask off and look defensive when you know you've made a bad call. Keep the mask on. Just keep looking. Say, I missed it. Because you know what? He missed it. So I hate it when the umpire shows the aggressiveness and takes the mask off and gives his glare at the hitter, who's obviously upset because he knows that guy made a bad call.
Here comes Jacobs.
I mean, the guy on the mound's tough enough. And that's all you have to say as a hitter. Okay, look, he doesn't need any help. He's tough enough.
Jacobs fouls it off.
Then you could say something like, you may need a little help, but he doesn't need any help. I think he'd still be in the game with that one.
Yeah, I think so. There's a real gray area there now with what you can say, what you can't.
Well, and an umpire is going to let you go a little longer if in his mind he knows he missed the pitch. And they know they miss pitches.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Now he's got Volquez upset.
Volquez thought he had a strike.
He's had a couple of pitches that he thought were strikes. Veteran catcher Paul Bacco kind of trying to calm Bill Hahn down behind the plate.
Jacobs waiting for everyone to cool down. And now he'll step back in. I think Jake was just letting him him stew.
Yeah, he was.
You guys want to keep going here? Off the end of the bat, Bruce comes in and he makes a running catch.
I was just thinking to myself, Bill Hahn was probably saying out of the corner of his mouth, step on in there. Come on, hurry up, get in there.
Here comes Dan Uggla. Uggla bounced out back in the second. 18 homers, 23 doubles. Uggla just keeps going strong. One of the things that he's avoided this year. Last year there were a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys.
I think you see that as players improve and get a little more experience. The peaks and valleys aren't as great.
.42 extra base hits for Uggla. Second in the major leagues.
Second to that guy Lance Berkman.
By only one. Berkman's got 43.
Tied for second with Berkman in home runs. 18. Chase Utley with 21. We'll see him tomorrow night.
Uggla has one triple to go with all those doubles and homers.
I think one of the interesting numbers in the RBI leaders goes to Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian Gonzalez is tied with Utley 56 RBIs. And he plays on a team that doesn't score a whole lot of runs.
In a ballpark that is one of the most pitcher-friendly ballparks in the major leagues.
And he has 17 home runs. There's that changeup. Yeah, those are awesome numbers for a guy in that situation. Changeup, just, you want to go hide after a swing like that. He knows it.
He and Bill can go find a quiet place. Here's the 2-2. Volquez disposes of Ugla.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, the ladies are back in the ring for a Best Damn Boxing Blowout. We've got all the hard-hitting action. It's the Best Damn Fight Night, period. Friday, we've got the zaniest.
It's a big thing for the Miami fans.
Wackiest.
Into the 40, the 30.
And most outrageous bloopers anywhere.
Oh, no.
It's Best Damn's Top 50 Sports Bloopers. This week at 11.
Start your Thursday afternoons with the Toyota Tundra Outdoors on FSN Florida. At 12:30, Southwest Florida Outdoors features the how-to for fishing in Southwest Florida. At 1, Real Adventures takes an in-depth look at saltwater fishing. At 1:30, get all your field and stream resources on Americana Outdoors. And at 2, wrap up with the competition and excitement of the Redfish Tournament Trail. All this on the Toyota Tundra Outdoors, Thursday afternoons on FSN Florida.
Summer buckets are here. Steamy buckets of spice-rubbed barbecue Dungeness crab and buckets of peel and eat shrimp, mussels, and ice-cold beer. Buckets always bring folks together. Enjoy a few with your friends.
Florida Marlins Baseball está disponible en español vía SAP y es presentado por Prestige Audi.
Dolphin Stadium tonight, the Cincinnati Reds have jumped the Marlins early. Burke Badenhop trying to hold it right there while the Marlins try to figure out Edinson Volquez. Volquez has not given up a hit through 4 innings. All kinds of things going on in this one.
A little different ambiance tonight than Saturday night.
That was a big night here. A little different feeling in the ballpark, too. Encarnacion with a base hit.
Number 19, first baseman Joey.
You can pick up the new Marlins free 5-pack presented by Pollo Tropical. A 5-pack, all you gotta do is buy it, then you get a second 5-pack free. So your Marlins take on the Cubs, the Mets, the Phillies, and more. You pick the games. It starts at just $75. 1-877 Marlins. There is Joey Votto. We've seen Edinson Volquez go 4 no-hit innings. We've seen Ken Griffey Jr. hit his 600th homer. We saw a fan sneak out with what appeared to be the ball. And we're still waiting on confirmation. Craig Minervini
I think Craig has been working on this for 3 innings. He is diligently going after the authenticity of that home run.
Last we heard, Craig was behind left field with the fan in a holding cell.
Well, yeah, and he's been released, by the way.
Line shot into center field. So was that the guy, Craig?
From what I hear, now I never saw him, but I think it's the same guy. They say he's about a middle-aged guy, about 50, 55 years old. Comes to a lot of Marlins games, and yes, his name is Joe, from what we hear. Pulled a little fake off, it appears, as well. And yeah, there he goes. Good fake. The guy in the Mitre jersey is the guy we're talking about now. The Reds came over with, I saw 3 boxes.
What are the guys
of souvenirs? Yeah, look.
What are those guys down below fighting over, though?
Well, they think a ball's there from the fake, I think. But here's what he told the Reds: due to my circumstance, this is a quote from him, I am not going to reveal my name, and I have plans for the baseball I'm not telling you. If you need to get a hold of me, contact the Marlins.
It's come to this.
Yep.
I've not seen a Statue of Liberty play pulled off that well. See, our society has come to that.
Line shot. Ugla makes the catch, fires to first, not in time. Dan looked at second, and that cost him an out at first.
The thing is, the question, I was talking to Hal McCoy for the Dayton, the Hall of Fame newspaper, for the Dayton Daily News. He was saying he didn't think the ball would be worth more than several $1,000s.
That's what we were talking about.
But I don't know what the Sosa ball went for, and there's always some knucklehead out there who pays a ridiculous amount of money for the baseball.
I think Charlie Sheen has come to his senses, though, Craig.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. But let's say, for argument's sake, it was worth 50 or 70. I mean, that's a lot of money if it's that much money. So it's unfortunate, obviously, because you wish that Griffey would have the ball.
Well, yeah, because to Griffey and his family, it's invaluable. And it's something that they'll keep the rest of their lives.
Boquez trying to bunt. Yeah, I agree with Craig, and we brought it up a couple innings ago that that's not going to be worth the McGuire ball, the Bonds ball.
Even though you were talking about it, Rich, the way and the perception now of Ken Griffey Jr., which is a little different than to a Bonds and a McGuire with all the steroid allegations.
Yes.
It might bring it up a little bit. So you don't know.
You just hope that the fan doesn't try to leverage it with Griffey and the Reds and say, well, what's it worth to you? You know what I mean? I mean, it used to be you get an autographed bat or an autographed glove or something like that.
You know, we could maybe convince that fan to put the ball into the fantasy auction tomorrow.
That would be something if we could get that fan to donate it to charity. You know, the other thing we could do, if he holds out,
we got plenty of time to do a lot of stuff.
We could send Mr. Red to his house.
That would really creep him out.
Fastball hit him. Yanish gets hit by a pitch. Trainer not quite in agreement, but the Reds have the bags loaded. I mean, if that fan really wants to play dirty and he wants to hold that, I mean, it's just a statement saying, well, you know, if the Reds need to contact me, here's where you can get a hold of me. Send that guy over. Look at into the.
Those are evil eyes.
You're looking into the eyes of death.
That guy came to your door and said, hand over the ball.
Yeah, look at him. He's pointing. See, that's our solution. Now, if we sent Mr. Met.
Mr. Met would just go for a party.
Right.
He looks happy.
A cup of tea or something.
Yeah.
At least that Mr. Met. Sorry, Craig. It's like shooting fish in a, you know, whenever we throw that up. There's Jay Bruce.
But you know that Mr. Red, we're not sure if he's available.
That's true. That's true. Mr. Red. And there's lots of Mr. Reds on base right now. They're loaded. 0-2 pitch. Bruce pops it into the seats.
Yeah, Mr. Red would like to be there.
Now here, this is Mr. Red Legs.
Mr. Red Legs the other day had a rough landing.
Oh man. Good thing it's padded, and that's the next day. Here's the 0-2. It's foul back. Oh man. See. Now see, that's the old-fashioned. That's Mr. Red Legs.
Yeah.
They actually have put Mr. Red, the guy with the evil eyes, they've put him on sabbatical this year. He's no longer appearing at the ballpark. That one fouled back to the screen.
Trying to figure out if that was a Bill Hahn mustache or a Raleigh Fingers mustache.
That's right. It is Bill Hahn-like. Maybe that's why he rung Cantu up. Maybe he's related. Here's the 0-2. It's outside. That's 1-2. Jay Bruce up. Jay Bruce down. Badenhop strikes him out. And the Reds still on top 6-0.
Last year at Prestige Audi, we sold more Audis than any other Audi dealer in the world. And here's why. During the Summer of Audi event, you can lease a 2008 Audi A4 from $399 a month with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 due at signing, and get your first scheduled maintenance free. The power, the performance, the prestige. The Audi A4 from $399 a month. Prestige Audi, 2 minutes south of the Aventura Mall in North Miami Beach.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, the ladies are back in the ring for a Best Damn Boxing Blowout. We've got all the hard-hitting action. It's the Best Damn Fight Night, period. Friday, we've got the zaniest.
It's a big thing for the Miami fans.
Wackiest.
Into the 40, the 30.
And most outrageous bloopers anywhere.
Oh, no.
It's Best Damn's Top 50 Sports Bloopers. This week at 11.
FSN Florida and the Florida Marlins have teamed out for the 3rd annual 2008 FSN Fantasy Auction to help raise funds for the Florida Marlins Community Foundation. This special on-air auction will be held Tuesday, June 10th, when the Marlins host the Philadelphia Phillies. Fans both at the game and at home will have the opportunity to bid on 8 once-in-a-lifetime Marlins experiences, including golf packages and swimming with the Dolphins. For more information, please visit fsnflorida.com or floridamarlins.com.
Chevy Road ahead, Phillies in high def tomorrow. Wednesday night, Thursday night as well, on to Tampa Bay. Friday night, the Devil Rays. No television on Saturday. We were surmising that Bill Hahn had a Mr. Redleg type mustache. And you know what, Tommy, when put next to each other, surprisingly similar.
Yeah, not the twirled up ends, more like Raleigh Fingers is Mr. Redlegs.
All right, back to the regularly scheduled start of Edinson Volquez, who has been downright nasty tonight. Luis Gonzalez, Cody Ross, Matt Traynor in the 5th. Volquez has not given up a hit. He has walked a couple.
And right now at 52 pitches, that was number 53. But you can see that fastball hovers in the 93, 95 range. He has thrown a few breaking balls, kind of like a curveball, and then that terrific changeup.
Gonzo fouls it back, and it's 1-2. Last Cincinnati Red to throw a no-hitter.
To throw a no-hitter, we'll get our crack staff on it.
That one popped into the seats. Base hit left field. Gonzo singles the left.
And a solid base hit as well. No cheapness about that. And to answer your question, Rich, the last Red to throw a no-hitter. There's a nice swing on a line drive. September 16th, 1988. Left-hander Tom Browning.
That was a perfect game.
Yeah. And Tom Browning had an excellent changeup.
There's Cody Ross. Ross lined to left. Back in the 3rd. Reds have 3 homers, Ken Griffey Jr.'s historic 600th.
And you know what? There was no doubt about number 600 either for Junior. He took a breaking ball, just gave us that picture-perfect swing, that left-handed swing, and dropped it about halfway up into the seats.
One and two to Cody Ross. Cleveland continues to hammer Detroit 8-2. That's in the fourth.
How about they're off tonight as well as the Phillies? How about the Mets series in San Diego? Mets were swept 4 games in San Diego, 3 by the score of 2-1. And then they lost a heartbreaker yesterday, a pinch hit 3-run homer by Tony Clark off Billy Wagner in the 8th inning. They lost that game 8-6.
Matt Lindstrom loosens in the bullpen. Padres were wearing those camouflage uniforms too yesterday.
Mets may want to wear camouflage uniforms when they show up at Shea.
Pittsburgh beat Arizona 5-3. Giants are beating Washington 3-1 in the 6th. Here, Edinson Volquez continues his amazing run. He is shutting out the Marlins in the 5th. Ross got off the end of the bat. Griffey ambles in. And a basket catch. And an out here in the 5th. Benihana Thursdays. All you got to do is bring a receipt from Benihana to the stadium box office. $10 off an infield box seat. Next Benihana Thursdays this Thursday. Marlins and Phillies at 7:10. 1-877 Marlins. Matt Trainer now. He walked in the 3rd. Luis Gonzalez with a single to open up this, the 5th inning for the Fish. First hit of the night against Volquez. If he resembles the delivery and even the stature of Pedro Martinez, that's not by accident. He idolized Pedro Martinez when he was growing up, copied his pitching motion.
Yeah, about 5'11", 6 feet, 200 pounds is Volquez. And because of his times with Texas, different call-ups, he is not a rookie.
Parts of 3 seasons with the Rangers. 2005 through last year. And he loses Trainer. Jock Jones is coming up.
And Matt Trainer's drawing a couple of walks off Volquez tonight. Yeah, when you start thinking of rookie pitchers, one of Volquez's teammates, Johnny Cueto, is near the top in wins with 5. Jair Jurgens leading all National League rookies with 6 wins.
We said this when Cueto was pitching. His nickname growing up was Little Pedro as well. Jones pinch hitting for Badenhop.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Reds schedule. Right after the All-Star break, Cincinnati opens up at home and they play a 4-game weekend series against the Mets. So wouldn't that be something if Pedro Martinez pitches against either Volquez or Cueto.
Chuck Jones came up empty on that changeup. Jones still trying to find his swing since becoming a Marlin.
Was able to get a base hit yesterday against Aaron Harang in a pinch hit role.
Chopper. Votto goes to short. Giannis made a nice play just to catch the ball. And Matt Trainer got a piece of him as he slid in.
It's a pretty good play by Votto, and a better play by Giannis to hang on, pick that ball, and then kind of avoid the good hard slide of Matt Trainer. You know, the amazing thing about this game, and it's going to take a mistake from Volquez because he has such good stuff, but if he makes a mistake and Hanley were to hit one out, all of a sudden it's a 3-run game.
Hanley a couple of home runs yesterday. Volquez doesn't give them up easy. 80 innings, 3 homers this year. One and 0, our Firestone leaderboard. Shortstop home runs in Major League Baseball. Hanley Ramirez atop the list. Look at Johnny Peralta of the Indians. That's a strike. 1-1.
So keep the voting going. And then that All-Star game, Hanley Ramirez, Dan Uggla certainly belong.
I think Hanley has Aaron Harang's vote.
I'm not so sure if he went back into the clubhouse and
logged on
and made that vote, but you're right. 2 sliders. He had almost the identical pitch off Harang.
Almost in the identical spot in the seats. These two know each other pretty well. I've seen them chatting before games. You see Baco wanted the changeup. He shook him off a couple times. Let's see what he gets. Changeup.
Baco got what he wanted.
You get the sense that Volquez wants to throw it by Hanley again.
Somewhere on some field in the Dominican, these two matched up or played together. They're about the same age.
Yeah, he wanted to throw the fastball by him.
Yeah, Volquez is 24, as is Hanley.
Yeah, you can see the two are grinning. What's Hanley going to get here?
You would think in a 6-0 game he'd get a fastball, but this guy has such a good changeup, he could get that too.
3-2. Changeup, and he missed. Here comes Hermida.
Pitching coach Dick Pohl coming out. That's the 4th walk issued by Edinson Volquez, and that's probably a concern of Pohl's. And you know, now that pitch count's up to 75. You know, you almost got the feeling as you just look at his expression that was more, forget about the game and the situation, a couple runners on. That was more of a little personal battle between Volquez and Hanley.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Dick Pohl may have said, all right, get back in the game now. Okay, Hanley walked. See, Hanley's. That's exactly what that was all about.
Hermida. It's 6-0. Volquez has given up just one hit the entire game. And he floats a changeup up there for a strike. You think about Scott Olson's changeup and how good it is. And it usually comes over at 81, 82, but Olson has an 88, 89 mile-an-hour fastball.
And we talk about that a lot, the differential.
Hermida smokes it off the glove of Votto. One run across. Gonzo will score. Jock Jones will score, and the Marlins are on the board.
It's amazing how things can turn. He got that changeup, one of the few changeups he's gotten up a little bit. When he gets that pitch up, you see it better. You can stay back a little bit better and have a much better swing, as Hermida did, smoking that ball past Votto.
At the corners, here's Cantu. Two-run single for Hermida.
I'm not even sure why it took that long to rule it a base hit.
Volquez has been a mystery to Cantu tonight. Jorge has struck out twice. Now remember, the second time was that pitch at his shoot tops that was a called third strike. You see the series numbers, 8 for 16.
Tremendous series for Jorge Cantu against Cincinnati. And we mentioned last year, Cantu spent 27 games with the Reds, so he knows most of these guys.
And they know him now, especially after this series. There's Hanley. Hermida across the diamond. Volquez with a 2-0 pitch coming. Cantu ground ball, base hit, another run across. 6-3. Tying runs coming up. It's Mike Jacobs, and it's still the bottom of the 5th. And maybe that little duel between Volquez and Hanley knocked Volquez off his game.
Absolutely right. He got his focus in another direction. He got a visit from his pitching coach, and now he faces the tying run at the plate when, in fact, at one point in this inning, when it started, he was looking at a no-hitter. Remember, it started with Luis Gonzalez breaking up the no-hitter, and a nice swing by Jorge there. Most runs he's given up in a game this year.
First time more than 2.
He had 12 starts, and all 12 starts he's not given up more than 2 runs.
Jacobs can really make it hurt now.
So the Marlins have touched him up more than anybody else this year. Now he's trying to get back into that mode that he was in before he had the little battle with Hanley.
82 pitches on the night. 31 of them have come here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Fouled back to the screen.
Got a pretty good fastball and foul it straight back.
Hermida drove home 2. Cantu knocked in a run. 3 have scored here in the 5th. What will Jacobs get? 1-2. High fly ball. Done. And the Marlins are on the board. They cut the lead in half.
Looks horsepower G from Infinity. Lease an Infinity G sedan for $349 a month for 24 months.
I'm Kevin Gregg of the Florida Marlins, and I care. I don't chew, and I don't dip, and I don't smoke. Join us as we work towards our goal of a tobacco-free Florida. For information, visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
So, is this your first root canal? Uh-huh. Mine too. Just look outside. What a day, huh? It's the type of day you'd rather be at a ball game with a hot dog, knocking back a cold beer. I bet the last thing you want to do is get a root canal. Marlins baseball, you gotta be here. Yeah.
Our telecast available in high definition for a list of cable and satellite providers offering FSM Florida HD along with channel numbers. Log on to fsmflorida.com. Full stomach, full moon. Well, not quite. Half moon. Half full with those arepas. 16,003 on hand tonight. Matt Lindstrom takes over for Burke Badenhop in a game that has taken on a little bit of a different light. You can see the Reds race to a 6-0 lead. Included in that, those 2 runs in the first came on home run number 600 for Ken Griffey Jr. Fly ball left field. Gonzo. We check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Thank you, Rich. Hope you enjoyed the pregame show today. We had a live conversation with Josh Johnson. Some news today, and it's good news for the Marlins. In extended spring training, Josh Johnson, look at the numbers today. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 2 strikeouts, 60 pitches. This was the first game he has thrown since his comeback from that surgery last year. And he said to us live, he said, that's what felt great, just to have a live baseball game. You know, you could do the sim games, you could do all the pregame, the rehab type work he's been doing, but it's nice to face live hitters in an actual game. Now, there's no timetable for the return yet, but obviously he's a little ahead of schedule, having already gotten a game under his belt here in early June. And who knows, they're going to keep the progression going. He'll now pitch every 5 days like a normal starting pitcher and build it up and keep getting a chance out there. And sometime in the second half, hopefully on the short side, guys, we'll see him back.
What a boost that would be.
Yeah, and that's terrific news.
The amazing part is the rehab window continues to shorten from Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, it's different. You talk to the surgeons who perform it. You talk to the athletic trainers, and they'll tell you every individual's different. And some will come back a little sooner. That's why they always give you kind of a 3-month waiver period. How about the heat that Lindstrom has come in to throw? The Reds have gone from Mark Hendrickson, slow left-hander, to Badenhop, a little bit harder, and now Matt Lindstrom, who's bringing it about 98. And he just threw 3 fastballs by Brandon Phillips. What a nice job, by the way, for the Hopper. 2 1/3 innings, kept the Reds at their 6 runs, and now that's the job of Matt Lindstrom and whoever else comes in out of that bullpen.
And the Marlins go back to their Reds shift with Cantu from third base over out beyond second.
Yeah, I talked to Freddie about that. He got together with his staff, baseball experts, and it was brought to his attention, you know, Cantu used to play second, maybe ought to try it. And Freddie said, sure, let's give it a shot. And when you think about it, it makes sense. It did not make sense when Miguel Cabrera was at third base, because Miguel played some shortstop as a kid. That's how he signed. So he was more comfortable over there at the shortstop position and would not have been comfortable out there where Cantu is now. And Freddie thought that last year, too, thought about it last year.
Well, the other thing it does is it gives the lone infielder on the left side, you almost want that infielder to have more range because he's got to cover more ground. And Hanley provides that.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll see a pop foul, a fly ball drop, just because the shortstop playing this over shift can't get there. And Hanley at least will give it a shot.
So what do we call that from here on out? The Reds shift?
No, I think we'll see it the same thing with Ryan Howard tomorrow night with the Phillies.
Two and two. It's a 6-3 ball game. The Marlins finally got to Edinson Volquez, not only for the first hit, but their first runs in the bottom of the 5th. Lindstrom snaps it off and strikes out Dunn.
No chance on that one.
Announcer.
Is it 600? There it goes. 600 into the seats. The guy in the Mitre jersey got the ball, deked everybody, and Griffey got a hug from his son Trey, the Frost-Brewed Coors Light Freeze can.
Well, our South Florida congratulations to Ken Griffey Jr.
Dan Uggla, along with Luis Gonzalez and Cody Ross. Edinson Volquez is the other story here tonight. He was cruising along with a no-hitter into the 5th. Gonzo got to him with a single, and then Volquez got a little careless and a little wild, and the Marlins had 2 run-scoring hits that produced 3 runs. Uggla rolls one in the hole at short. Giannis, quick release. Votto can't dig it. Uggla's aboard.
Giannis didn't quite get enough on the ball, but I'm not so sure it was that bad of a throw. We'll see where it is picked by Votto at first base. It looked pickable, but I think the shortstop, Paul Giannis, is going to be charged with the error, yes.
As a slick-feeling first baseman yourself, what makes a ball pickable?
Well, the ones that are pickable are the ones that only inch or 2 away. The little short quick hops. The one that bounces 3 or 4 feet away, that in-betweener is tough.
Volquez misses down low. In the middle of that 5th inning, Hanley Ramirez came to the plate, and Edinson Volquez and Hanley Ramirez know each other pretty well. And you could see the smiles. And Volquez, it looked like, got caught into, I'm going to try to throw the ball by Hanley Ramirez. He ended up walking him. And after he walked him, that's when the damage came. That's when Hermita's 2-run single came. That's when Cantu's RBI single came.
He's had a couple of games where he's walked 4. He has one game this year where he walked 6 in 7 innings against the Cubs. But he also struck out 10 in that game.
There was a quote from Dan Uggla in the paper today talking about facing Volquez, and someone said, well, you're in against a great pitcher. He goes, yeah. He said, the best thing that we can do is make him throw a lot of pitches and get him out of there.
Well, he's at 89 now, and bullpen's busy again for Dusty Baker.
Right down the middle, and it's 3-1. Mike Lincoln.
Saw him the other night.
That one is down low, and the Marlins, with nobody out in the 6th inning, bring the tying run to the plate. It's Cody Ross. Dusty Baker has seen enough Cody Ross home runs to know that that could be trouble, and he's on his way out to the mound. Whether he makes a move or not, we'll see. Lincoln hasn't been up all that long.
Yeah, if he does, it will be one of the poorest outings that Volquez has had this year, even though he'll leave, if he does, with a 6-3 lead. The Marlins have scored more earned runs off of him than any other team this year in a game. He's walked 5. He's struck out just 5. Dusty's gonna stay with him, but he had a message he wanted to get across, and he did not want to send his pitching coach Dick Pohl.
2 games ago, Saturday night, 2 outs, 9th inning. The Reds up a run, and Cody Ross walks off against Francisco Cordero and the Reds. A dramatic, incredible finish. The second dramatic home run that Ross hit against the Reds this year. Remember, he hit that 3-run shot off Cordero again to tie the game at 6 in the 9th in Cincinnati.
You know, when he hit that home run, I look back today, that one against Cordero in Cincinnati. Cody Ross, to start that game, was hitting 188 and had 3 home runs. So that one really got him going.
Oh, 1. Quickly 0-2.
And maybe in the back of his mind, he was thinking he was going to get the changeup. Got a fastball, and that fastball had some real good movement, plus it was 94.
Douglas at second, Luis Gonzalez at first. Oh, 2. Ross pulls it foul. Pull the fastball.
Not too often will a pitcher, and especially one who has good changeup, when he sees a hitter pull the fastball that way with 2 strikes on him, not too often will he come back with another fastball.
Ross, left field, deep, done to the track, makes the catch. Douglas tagging and digging for third, and he'll get there. Cody Ross brought the crowd to their feet.
He looked like he got the changeup that time and just got under it. There it is. It was down. He had a good swing. Just missed it a little. And he knows it.
So it's Trainer who has walked twice.
This is key right here, just to get this run in. You can't think about a whole lot more if you're Matt Trainer. Matt's had some good at-bats against Volquez. He's walked twice.
Wes Helms is on deck. You can see that Baco wasn't quite sure, and he's going to go talk to Volquez. We want to take this time to wish a happy birthday, Mike Lincoln and Bill Bray in the bullpen, to Jackie Dorfman, who is a big Marlins fan. 75 years. What a great day to celebrate your birthday. Watch some Marlins baseball. Jackie Dorfman. Bobby turned out pretty good.
That's right. Happy birthday, Jackie.
Trainer fouls it back. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 1-1.
It's always a little frustrating as a hitter when you have that good cut at a pitch that you know you're not going to see a lot of from a guy who's had good stuff. And Matt fouled off the fastball. It was up a little bit.
That is out, and it's 2-1. Ugla reached on the air. Gonzo walked. Trainer pops it up. Phillips. So now there's 2 outs, and now the Marlins turn to Wes Helms.
And now it's a lot tougher, of course, with Wes up there with 2 downs. Marlins needed to get that run in to make it a 6-4 game, regardless of scoring any more in the inning. But to have that run at third base, and it's something that the Marlins struggle with all the time.
Helms stands in now. 6 for 14 as a pinch hitter, a homer and 6 RBIs. Sometimes the most important pinch hit at bat comes in the bottom of the 9th. Sometimes it comes in the bottom of the 6th.
That's why a guy like Wes Helms is always ready in that role. You kind of manage the game in your own head. Figure out, you know what, this might be a situation I need to be ready for.
Helms drives it to left field. Dunn goes back, reaches up, and makes the catch. The Marlins hit 2 to the track and left and come up empty in the 6th.
So
7th inning. Corona sponsors our timeout. The official sponsor of the timeout. Relax responsibly. Edwin Encarnacion grew up a Dodgers fan and was a big fan of Griffey Perez. How about that?
Got a little different position. Griffey Perez, shortstop, second base.
Griffey Perez won a Gold Glove.
Yes, he did.
Logan Kensing's in the ball game, and he bends a breaking ball up there. Well, Marlins didn't score against Edinson Volquez in the bottom of the 6th. But if Kensing can hold it right here at 6-3, the Marlins did send Volquez over the 100 pitch mark.
Yeah, I think he's done, even if his spot doesn't come up. His spot comes up 4th in this inning, but I think that's it for him anyway. I'm sure Logan heard the good news on his buddy Josh Johnson, JJ.
That was good to hear his voice. Marlins on deck before the ball game. That would be strike 3. Kensing strikes out Encarnacion. Tomorrow, one of our prizes in the big FSN fantasy auction is Swim with the Dolphins with Logan and JJ. And if you are the high bidder for that prize, you will appear on the next installment in the Misadventures of Logan and JJ. Here's Votto. He's singled back in the 5th. High drive, right center. Ross to the wall, and in deepest, darkest right center field, Cody Ross makes the catch.
Joey Votto, that one may have been in the river in Cincinnati, but welcome to Dolphin Stadium. Cody Ross puts his head down, couple of looks, knew exactly where he wanted to go, pulls out the one hand, and it made that look pretty easy on a well-hit ball by Votto.
Here's Paul Bacco. Now, you kind of expected Ken Griffey Jr. to homer in this series, and he did in the first inning of this ball game, his 600. What you don't expect is Paul Bacco to drop a 3-run bomb on you, and he did that in the second. And that was the undoing of Mark Hendrickson.
You know, the Marlins have been able to compile some strikeouts. Last night the Reds struck out 14 times, and the Reds have struck out 11 times so far tonight.
Now they can finish inscribing that bat that they had about halfway completed for Ken Griffey Jr. to mark home run number 600. We showed it to you at the very outset of the series. Kensing buries the breaking ball.
Well, you know, Junior will get a warm welcome when they return home. They open up that series against St. Louis tomorrow night.
Do you think he finishes his career in Cincinnati?
I think yes. I think yes. I might not have said that when we were in Cincinnati.
Do you think maybe he takes a little discount next year on the option of his contract to stay a Red?
Possibly. I just don't know how much interest there will be, depending on how he finishes. Now, if all of a sudden he just goes crazy and has a strong second half, you don't know. There would be more interest.
The option is at $16.5 million. Kensing strikes out Bacco. 1-2-3 go the Reds in the seventh. Marlins down 6-3. There it is. Date and stadium here.
At Infinity, we believe acceleration should feel less like a quick burst of speed and more like a limitless force of nature. The 306 horsepower G from Infinity. Lease an Infinity G sedan for $349 a month for 24 months.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, the ladies are back in the ring for a Best Damn Boxing Blowout. We've got all the hard-hitting action. It's the Best Damn Fight Night, period. Friday, we've got the zaniest.
It's a big thing for the Miami fans.
Wackiest.
He's at the 40, the 30.
And most outrageous bloopers anywhere.
Oh, no.
It's Best Damn's Top 50 Sports Bloopers. This week at 11.
Start your Thursday afternoons with the Toyota Tundra Outdoors.
By Ken Griffey Jr. That got the Reds started against Mark Hendrickson.
Well, he did not waste any time, hit it in the first inning, but I think the biggest one of the game was hit by Paul Bacco. And then how about Brandon Phillips? 3 home runs, but the Marlins have been able to scratch back off a guy who has been outstanding all year. Volquez picked up some early strikeouts, but the Marlins were able to come back with 3 runs in the 5th inning. A big hit by Jeremy Hermida drove in a couple, and they added another on a Jorge Cantu base hit. So all of a sudden it's a 3-run game with Jared Burton now coming in to pitch for Cincinnati.
That's usually a good thing for the Reds. Look at his ERA at 2.84. And Burton takes over.
Yeah, but that ERA is huge compared to what Volquez's was to start the game. Good fastball with some sink to it. Slider. Main 2 pitches.
Top of the order now. Which means that if the Marlins can just muster a little bit, they'll at least get the top of the order back up in the 9th. Hanley hits a scorcher that Phillips spears and gets him out.
Think about some of the balls that have been hit the last 3 or 4 hitters. Cody Ross just missed one, sent Dunn back, and then Wes Helms. Cody Ross on your left. He just misses one. Wes hits one well. I thought Wes even hit his better. But Dunn able to pull both of them down. And then Hanley Ramirez just almost turned Brandon Phillips around at second base.
Hermina's got 3 hits in this series. Two and 0. The Marlins with 3 more at home, and then on the road, the Phillies arriving for 3, and then on the road against Tampa Bay, Seattle, and Oakland. Back in interleague play. The Rays returning from, well, at least Texas was not a good place for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they're all the way in Anaheim now. Maybe a little bit of a homecoming for Doug Wechter, Jorge Cantu. Going back to the Trop.
Wonder if Wechterville will be resurrected. Outside corner. Hermida goes down. Phillies arriving. Actually, they arrived last night, but they'll be at the ballpark Tuesday through Thursday. Starting tomorrow night, Tuesday's Miami Herald. You can look in the 2 for Tuesday ticket offer. Pick that up in the Herald. Wednesday, the Marlins eSaver email from FloridaMarlins.com. And, of course, Thursday's finales at 7:10, 1-877-MARLINS. Cantu pops a pitch up. Jared Burton comes in and throws 7 pitches and gets 3 outs. Just like that, we roll on to the 8th.
The 300 horsepower Acura MDX with super handling all-wheel drive. How you see the road depends on what you're driving.
Make just one.
Acura Advance.
Take advantage of attractive lease rates on the 2008 Acura MDX for well-qualified customers.
Checkers is coming at you with more big, fully loaded sandwiches than any other value menu. Now, which one do you chomp into first? Checkers' new double value menu. Jammed, crammed, slammed with choices. Sizzling single deals starting at $1. Hunger-busting double deals starting at $3. 13 fully loaded sandwiches in all. It's value menu done proper. Little place, big taste. That's Checkers.
I'm Matt Lindstrom of the Florida Marlins, and I care. I don't chew, I don't dip, and I don't smoke. Join us as we work toward our goal of a tobacco-free Florida. For more information, visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
So, root canal or Marlins game?
You got to be here Fish Friday, June 27th, as your Marlins battle the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's Venezuelan Heritage Night. Grab a 4 for $54 pack, and 100 fans can win an authentic base autographed by Dan Ugla on Scratch Off Friday. Plus, enjoy Fiesta Latina and the 10th inning party at the Strike Zone. Call 1-877-MARLIN or go to FloridaMarlins.com. Marlins baseball, you got to be here.
Logan Kensing stays in the ball game. 8th inning, 6-3. Reds on top. Andy Phillips is going to pinch hit for the Reds. And then top of the order, Paul Janisch and Jay Bruce. Phillips, the former Yankee. A couple hits in this series. Had a big hit on Saturday.
Yeah, he did. 6th inning, hit a double, cleared the bases, drove in all 3.
The Marlins saw 6 innings of Edinson Volquez. And then 7 pitches of Jared Burton. Volquez's ERA started the night at 1.32. It goes up to 1.56 because the Marlins got 3 earned runs against him. Hanley gets a big hop.
Logan Kensing has come in and faced 4 and retired all 4.
Number 7, shortstop, Paul Janisch.
Nissan presents this day in baseball history. Baltimore's American League franchise is sold for $18,000 and is moved to New York. The franchise will become the New York Yankees. Of course, the Yankees' greatest star was born in Baltimore.
Not too far from the site of Camden Yards.
Babe Ruth. Janisch, and that one eats up Cantu. Down the line it goes. Gonzo will pick it up, and Janisch pulls into second. Another look.
You know, it's maybe going to be ruled a base hit, but certainly a ball that tied him up and should have at least been knocked down to keep Janisch at first base. But because the ball got by Jorge Cantu, Janisch gets to second base.
So Kensing has to face Jay Bruce with a runner in scoring position. He promptly lines one into center field. Ross is over there and makes the catch. Even Jay Bruce's outs are loud and hard.
I mean, he's lined out twice. They struck out a couple of times, but lined out to right field and then hit that screamer to center. Bill Bray, the lefty, gets himself loose.
Look at his ERA. The Reds have a pretty good bullpen.
Yeah, they do.
The Phillies will bring a very good bullpen to town. Marlins are going to walk Ken Griffey Jr.
This is the call to make, but you have a tough hitter on deck in Brandon Phillips, who's hit the Marlins really well, and he has a home run and a single tonight.
They have given Jorge Cantu an error on that play by Janisch. The ball that Janisch hit to his right. In case you missed it, he was sitting at 599 until this swing in the first inning.
Got the breaking ball about middle in, threw that sweet swing on it, and hit it 413 feet. Scramble in the bleachers, and Junior made the milestone.
Hug from Dusty Baker, who's been around for a few milestone home runs himself.
Yeah, he has. It's pretty incredible.
Infinity extraordinary play of the game.
Yeah, Dusty managed Sammy Sosa. He managed Barry Bonds.
He was on deck when Henry Aaron.
He was a teammate of Henry Aaron's.
Hit the big home run in Atlanta.
So Dusty's been there for a few big moments. You know what? He's had a few himself. He was the MVP of the 1977 National League Championship Series.
Ground ball. Cantu to his left, gets there and makes the play. So the error doesn't cost the Marlins a run. They're still down 3, 6-3.
Honey, if you want to get rid of your gray hair, try my hair color.
Please visit fsnflorida.com or floridamarlins.com.
Want a chance to swim with me, JJ, and the Dolphins on our next misadventure? Bid during the FSN Fantasy Auction Tuesday night. Make sure you bring your floaties.
Bring the floaties.
Yes, that's tomorrow night. The FSN Fantasy Auction. 6-3 ball game.
Yeah, it's a good shot. Family having some fun.
Corey Patterson is out in center field. Griffey comes out of the ball game, and Jay Bruce slides over to right.
Yeah, Dusty's made this move a couple of times in this series.
Bill Bray. Jacobs, right field, deep, Bruce back, gone. Mike Jacobs. Solo shot, 2-run game.
Well, they brought in Bray because Jake was leading off, then Ugla, then Gonzo, another left-handed hitter. And Mike Jacobs, who loves that first pitch, jumped on it. And for Jake, number 14 on the year. And again, makes that runner stranded at third, less than 2 out. Even more important, all of a sudden it's a 1-run game if that run is in. Still, it's a 2-run game. And there's some time.
Ugla at the plate, and Baco's on his way out to the mound. You know, the Reds have seen the Marlins in some miraculous comebacks this year. Down 6-0 in the 9th inning in Cincinnati. The Marlins came back and scored 6 times to tie that game. The Reds would end up winning it in extra innings. And of course, on Saturday night, who could forget Cody Ross's shot in the bottom of the 9th? Marlins scored 3 times in that 9th inning.
.398 feet on the Jacobs home run. You know, the amazing thing, we've talked about it all year, only one of Dan Ugla's home runs has been against a lefty.
And that's got to feel good for Jake, who is scuffling. Had scuffled with the bat, a little bit with the glove as well. Breaking ball. And it's 1-2. Our Geico quote comes from Dan Ugla, talking about Hanley Ramirez. He's our spark plug. He can hit a single, double, triple, home run. He can do anything he wants to do.
That's a pitch right there that ties up Dan a little bit. One of the reasons he struggles against lefties. I mean, hitting just 197 with the 1 home run against left-handed pitching. The soft tossing lefties and the lefties that have that breaking ball that can come down and in, a slider.
Well, Ugla then might shudder when he looks at the pitching matchups for the Phillies series.
Well, after Myers, then it's Hamels and Moyer.
Hamels has got that curveball that can get in, and of course Moyer is
beyond soft tossing.
He's the patron saint of soft tossing lefties. That one up in the seats. You saw Pinto in the bullpen. Ugla got jammed. Giannis out at first.
The only tough part about this inning, the way it's setting up, is Cody Ross might not get to face Cordero.
Time now for the stay in the game hold of the day. Brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Carlos Marmol has a 4-hold lead over Kyle McClellan, who was in a holding pattern with Luis Ayala. Just as Miller relievers keep their team in the game, you too can stay in the game with the Just for Men hair color hold of the game.
One of the big reasons, McClellan, I'm sure the Cardinals come into play today. 11 games over 500 in second place in the Central. Just 2.5 behind the Cubs.
Bray misses. Tommy's point about Cody Ross is certainly, I'm sure, on the mind of Francisco Cordero. It was Ross who hit the 3-run homer to tie that game back in Cincinnati at 6. And Ross who homered off Cordero to win the game Saturday night.
Got the feeling if Gonzo reaches, Bray won't be facing Cody Ross. Cody last year, 385 against lefties, has 5 home runs against left-handers this year. That's why David Weathers is getting loose.
That pitch is outside, and Cody Ross is going to come to the plate.
Cody, you might as well just make them remember you. It's the last game the Marlins see the Reds this year.
Dusty Baker says, I'm going to the bullpen. And so Ross is going to face a right-hander. Bill Bray gave up the Jacobs homer, got Ugla out, walked Gonzo. And our Marooney called to the bullpen.
When you need a car, truck, or van, who you gonna call? Marooney!
Announcing an automotive website that shows you everything you want to know. The newly redesigned Marooney.com. Click Marooney.com to access over 80,000 new and used cars and trucks. You'll also get objective third-party research and side-by-side comparisons. Plus, at Marooney.com, you can now search by vehicle type or payment. You'll even see a Carfax report for used cars and trucks.
And you've got to see this to believe it.
Marooney.com.
So, what are we doing?
In my place, pizza and a video.
No way.
Very original.
How about Chili's? Welcome to Chili's.
Pepper in some triple thick bacon with Chili's new Smokehouse Bacon Burgers. They're mammoth-sized burgers with the thickest bacon you've ever seen, like our Southern Smokehouse Burger. The bacon seasoned with brown sugar and chili pepper, then grilled. Come in now and try them all. Only at Chili's. Pepper in some bacon, pepper in some fun.
Game that looked like it was going to be a runaway. The Marlins have inched their way back within 2. A former Marlin a couple of times, David Weathers, out of the Reds bullpen.
Well, let's see. 3 times Cody Ross has faced David Weathers. 1 for 3 with a home run.
Why not? The chant starts much like Saturday night. The chants of Cody. That was quite a scene on Saturday night. 25,000 on their feet, cowbells ringing, chanting Ross's name. Ross at the plate. The Marlins down a run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. The Reds closer Francisco Cordero on the mound, and darned if he didn't hit it out. And he hit it out to right center field. That's not a spot where Cody Ross hits a lot of home runs.
In the deepest part of right center field as well.
Look at how many homers he has 7th inning on. Yeah, he was trying to hit one out there, and that's the hard part here if you're Ross.
Yeah, the hardest part is not to think all that stuff that we're talking about. He has to, in his mind, and he likes to do this. I mean, he takes a big swing anyway, but he just has to say to himself, let me see a good pitch and put a good swing on it. If he starts saying, let me see a good pitch and hit it out, then he's in trouble.
1-2 now. Matt Trainer is on deck. The Marlins have used 2 of their biggest pinch hit bats already. Jock Jones and Wes Helms. That's strike 3. Cody doesn't like it. And he's tossed out of the ball game.
Everything had been away, and all of a sudden David Weathers came in with a fastball, a 2-seamer in. Whether it was a strike or not, we'll have to see. But when you're thinking everything away, all of a sudden in really fools you, and sometimes you don't see it well. Could have been off the plate. We'll have to see. Tough part is the bench is short. Now Cody's gone. See the targets in there. It probably was in just a tad. And he backs out because he's thinking away. And it didn't take long for Bill Hahn to toss Cody Ross.
So Matt Trainer now with 2 outs. And Weathers throws a strike. Amezaga has climbed in on deck. Trainer's had a long night. Little roller up first, and it's foul. Trainer came to the plate with runners at the corners and popped out with 1 out in the 6th inning. The Marlins did not get a run that inning. That was the last inning that Volquez pitched. There's Amezaga.
He'll have to go in and play anyway.
1-2.
A couple things Freddie can do. If Matt makes an out, he can double switch with Robello as well.
Trainer pops that one up down the right field line. Bruce running, reaches. Oh, he makes the catch and goes over the wall and holds on.
He truly is Bruce Almighty.
Jay Bruce goes up and over.
At Infinity, we believe acceleration should feel less like a quick burst of speed and more like a limitless force of nature. The 306 horsepower G from Infinity. Lease an Infinity G sedan for $349 a month for 24 months.
Ever since there were cars, Americans have had a love affair with the open road. And with quality gasoline and pay-at-the-pump convenience coast to coast, Valero is your perfect travel companion. Valero, the all-American gasoline for the all-American love affair.
What's Lotto Plus?
It's Lotto Plus from the Florida Lottery. Now you can add millions to your jackpot. A $2 Lotto Plus jackpot starts at $13 million. A $3 Lotto Plus jackpot starts at $28 million. New Lotto Plus. It's Lotto Plus. Millions more.
Cha-ching. Nice shoes.
When a major hospital wanted to add on to their benefits package at no direct cost to the company, their very first word was... Aflac. Find out more at aflacforbusiness.com.
It's a 6-4 ball game, and into the 9th inning we go. The Marlins down a couple. Raniel Pinto tries to keep a nice night by the bullpen going. Alfredo Amezaga, as we expected, is out in center field.
Yeah, double switch. Alfredo will hit number 9, and Pinto comes in the game. He'll bat Cody Ross's spot. And there are the numbers. The bullpen has been terrific tonight. 2 1/3 by Badenhop. Matt Lindstrom with a strong inning, had a couple of strikeouts. Logan Kensing with 2 good innings. And now Rainiel Pinto.
Adam Dunn is 0 for 4 in the ball game. Pinto against Dunn. And he misses up. One for 14 in this series.
1 for 14 with 9 strikeouts in this series for Adam Dunn.
Three punch outs tonight. His numbers are always just so amazing. He's struck out 62 times. And he's walked 54 times.
And on base percentage coming into the game of .411.
16 homers, 41 RBIs. You almost don't even look at his batting average. There's Cordero in the bullpen.
I wonder if he was that patient as a high school quarterback in Texas.
Waiting for that crossing pattern
Yeah.
to clear the linebacker.
Well, he could be if he had good protection. One of the most highly sought after high school quarterbacks.
He might have been tough to sack, as big as he is. Drive down the right field line. It's curling. It's a fair ball. It hops off the wall. Hermida picks it up. And Dunn is in with a double. And it's just his 8th double of the season. Our Checkers double of the game.
Well, he certainly does have the patience, and it pays off this time for Adam Dunn. He stays inside that ball so well. A lot of guys would hook that ball foul. And I guess safe to say when you're 6'7", 275, you lumber into second base.
He's at second. And here's Encarnacion. This was a Mark Hendrickson start. 2 1/3 innings. All 6 runs. Burke Badenhop 2 2/3 scoreless. Matt Lindstrom an inning. Logan Kensing with 2 scoreless innings. Two-0 pitch.
Don't have to tell you the importance to the ball club for Rainiel Pinto to keep this a 2-run game.
Ball gets by Trainer, and Dunn is now at third base.
And that's not a good start. It just kind of, the reason I say that, I mean, obviously the obvious is, you know, if the Reds add on another run or two, it's tougher to come back. You go into the 9th inning down 2, it's different, but just the mental part of it, it just deflates the offense to know when you go back in there you have to score more.
Mark Wiley out to talk to his lefty. Joey Votto's waiting at the plate. If it just happened by, the Reds lead the Marlins 6-4. Ken Griffey Jr. homered early in this one, back in the first inning. Off of Mark Hendrickson, who hung a curveball. And Jr. hit it out, his 600th home run, his 7th of the season. The Reds would hit 2 more homers before Hendrickson would lead. Paul Bacco a 3-run shot. Brandon Phillips a solo shot. The Marlins were in deep against Edinson Volquez, who came in with a National League leading 1.32 ERA. But the Marlins got him for 3 runs in the 5th, and he left after 6. Mike Jacobs with a home run to make it 6-4. And now Pinto's trying to wriggle out of trouble. Young Joey Votto.
Started Votto off with his breaking ball, a pitch he doesn't throw all that often.
Marlins infield is up, trying to choke off this run.
Yeah, you can't play for a double play here in the 9th inning. Another good one. Yeah, and again to point out with Volquez, it's the first time this year. So 13 starts. It took his 13th start to allow more than 2 earned runs in a game. And the Marlins got 3 off of it.
That's almost a half season full of quality starts right there. Let's see what he gets 0-2. He's thrown him 2 curveballs. Fastball, left field. Gonzo back, track, reaches up, makes the catch. Done. Comes to the plate and a hustling Edwin Encarnacion gets to second. And that's where the wild pitch hurts.
Well, 2 really good breaking balls. And then too good of a fastball. It's one thing to throw the fastball there to set up maybe the next pitch. Maybe set up the changeup, maybe set up another breaking ball. But too good of a fastball for Votto to hit with the count 0-2.
Three-run lead now for the Reds. Bacco digs in. Paul Bacco is a major league, almost a lifer. 35 years old. Bacco hits it deep down the right field line. That ball's off the foul pole. My goodness, Paul Bacco has hit 2 home runs. He had 1 home run all of last year. He had 4 this year coming into tonight.
When you start giving up long balls to Paul Bacco, you know you've made some poor pitches. And that's not a discredit to him. He's not a home run hitter. It's his first in all the years of playing multi-homer game. When he was a Marlin for 56 games in 2000, he did not homer at all and had 161 ABs.
This is his 10th major league team.
He came into this season with 15 career home runs.
Corey Patterson.
And you know what? You love to talk to him. He's a pro's pro. One of the reasons that Dusty Baker has him handling the young pitchers, Johnny Cueto and Edinson Volquez.
He was a backup in Baltimore last year. He hit just .205 in 60 games. Out of Southwest Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana. Home of Ron Guidry and Gil Mesh. That one's smacked into right center field. Meziga cuts it off. Patterson singles.
It's a good thing that Corey Patterson isn't in there every day against the Marlins, because this year against the Fish, he is now 9 for 16. He had that big series in Cincinnati and a couple of hits here in this series.
Well, ever since Patterson got that offer when the Reds hit out of order, Remember that? Because
Yeah.
that happened just before the Marlins got to Cincinnati.
That's right. We just got to Cincinnati after it happened. Happened at Shea Stadium.
And he ended up not even coming to the plate, and he got the offer. And then the baseball god started to smile upon him after that. Giannis, who becomes a much bigger figure right now for the Reds than just a backup infielder. Jerry Hairston, in the process of stealing 2 bases in the first, fractured his thumb. The Reds are waiting for Jeff Keppinger to come back from his injury. He's getting close. And of course, Alex Gonzalez still rehabbing his knee injury. Pretty soon they're going to have to bring back Davey Concepcion or Barry Larkin.
Paul Bacco is such a pro. He's probably thinking, you know what, I just had my first multi-homer game and it's going to be overshadowed by Junior's 600.
Giannis pulls it down the line. Oh, the Reds, I guess they could bring back Pokey Reese if they could find him. It was his disappearance that
opened up the door for Dan Uggla.
Soft line drive. Cantu grabs it. And Giannis is out. That's going to bring Jay Bruce up.
Yeah, the Marlins in spring training, after they had Rule 5 Dan Uggla, he was in camp, but early on, and I'm not sure the whole thought of the front office, but it looked like Pokey Reese, who was in camp, might be the second baseman, and he just left. And after he left, Dan Uggla took over.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, he's still going strong.
Made the All-Star team. Bruce made the great catch to finish off the Marlins in the 8th.
This game's been kind of like a book. You know, some books you read, they're not real good in the beginning. Then there's some good stuff in the middle. You like it, and then it's not real good at the end. That's kind of the way this game has been.
Would you term it as a racy paperback with some vixen on the front?
No, just, you know, a little adventurous, you know,
more mystery.
Yeah, more mystery adventure. That in the middle part had a lot of that, a lot of mystery and adventure.
Yeah, you were hoping for a big finish. Kind of the opposite from Saturday night, which wasn't so good in the middle, but was great at the end.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to get to.
There you go. Nicely done. Bruce strikes out.
Announcing an automotive website that shows you everything you want to know. The newly redesigned Marooney.com. Click Marooney.com to access over 80,000 new and used cars and trucks. You'll also get objective third-party research and side-by-side comparisons. Plus, at Marooney.com, you can now search by vehicle type or payment. You'll even see a Carfax report for used cars and trucks.
And you've got to see this to believe it.
Marooney.com.
Today, we're observing the Geico Gecko, an extraordinary creature with a most curious adaptation. The ability to save people hundreds of dollars on their car insurance. Let's watch.
That's odd.
Whoa. Fascinating.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
At Nissan, we started with a stitch. Then we thought 2 would be even better. We thought the seat should appear at the touch of a button, and the folks in the back should have a moonroof too. We thought you should see traffic in real time and control your music seamlessly with your iPod. Then we thought, why not bring it all to you first? Introducing the future of the crossover. Here, now. The all-new 2009 Nissan Murano.
Marlins Baseball on FSN Florida, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Infinity, luxury and performance that stir the soul. By Corona, the official sponsor of the Timeout. By Advance Auto Parts. Keep the wheels turning. 9-4 ball game. The Cincinnati Reds have added on and given themselves some cushion against the Marlins going into the bottom of the ninth at Dolphin Stadium. And the Reds had their closer up and ready to go, so they'll bring him in the ball game. Francisco Cordero, who ended up blowing the save and losing the game on Saturday night with Cody Ross's heroics. Ross isn't around anymore. He was tossed out of the ball game, arguing that called third strike. And Alfredo Amezaga in the double switch, which ensued the ejection, leads it off. Hanley Ramirez, Jeremy Hermida also get some swings against Cordero in the ninth.
You know, Rich, we had some birthday greetings earlier. We need to send our best wishes along to Bill and Amy Brennan. Bill, our RoboCam operator. Birth of their second son, Ronan Dominic Brennan. You gotta like the name.
Ronan Dominic.
That just means Bill will give us better airtime on the RoboCam.
Yeah, like he's giving us any time at all tonight. Oh no, don't point that thing our way now. It's 9-4 in the ninth inning. A lot of good that's done us tonight. He'll be working extra hard tomorrow night. It's an ambitious night for him as well. We'll have a RoboCam out.
Now, will Bill be here in the air-conditioned booth?
Yes. Well, we're sweating.
Handling the RoboCam while we're okay.
Yeah. He'll have one of his RoboCams. He's a multi-talented guy. He multitasks because he's got the RoboCam on the screen behind home plate and then one up here in the press box. Amezaga rolls over on one. Phillips scoops it. Out. Good play by Phillips.
Never really talked to an umpire about this call, but this has to be a tough call, and I'll tell you why. Umpires a lot of times go by sound and they watch the bag. But when a ball's flipped like that, because it really looks like Alfredo might beat that. That's very close. But when a ball is flipped easily like that, you don't hear the sound of the ball hitting the mitt.
Hanley Ramirez. He is 0 for 3. Not anymore, is it?
He's hit some balls well, though, tonight. You know, I was just thinking with Ryan Tucker, the youngster last night who picked up, or yesterday, who picked up his first win, Major League debut. When he left Carolina, a lot of his teammates were kidding him and said, hey, don't you be the guy. Don't you give it up to Griffey. Well, he got the win. He didn't give it up to Griffey, and he was able to sit, watch this game, and see a little bit of history with Ken Griffey Jr. hitting number 600.
But he also said that Griffey was one of his heroes growing up.
Said he had baseball cards of him.
Yep. He said that, and it might be kind of cool to give up that number 600. But he said, not today. Hermida 2-run single in the 5th. Hanley's going to take second base. That won't go as a stolen base. When the opposing team doesn't hold you on and doesn't make an attempt to get you, instead of a stolen base, you get what is called indifference, defensive indifference. Which is at times something, when you think of it, at times something the Marlins have shown towards the baseball this year. The defensive indifference.
It's kind of like when you say something that I don't agree with up here. It's a TV booth indifference.
Announcer indifference. Post-game show should be an interesting one, so don't go anywhere. We're going to hear from Ken Griffey Jr. The Reds have a post-game news conference scheduled. Dusty Baker's going to speak. Ken Griffey Jr. will as well. Craig will recap the tail of the ball. Here's the 2-2. So Hermida strikes out. Here comes Cantu.
Third time that Jeremy's struck out tonight. Mixed in a single in the 5th inning that drove in 2 runs. That was a nice part of the game. That was the nice part of the book in the 5th inning when the Marlins got back in the game.
A strike from Cordero. 9-4 ball game, bottom 9. Jacobs on deck. Mike homered back in the 8th. That one's hit hard. Giannis on to first. And the series ends with the Marlins and the Reds splitting 4 games. The Reds capturing the first and the last, and the Marlins getting games 2 and 3. Dusty Baker tips his cap across the diamond to Freddie Gonzalez. Post-game show is coming up.